What do you guys think? I'm the Mario Andretti of YouTube. Can you describe it for our audio listeners?
Okay, imagine a really Italian-looking Formula One driver. In fact, aren't most of them Italians anyway? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being redundant. Imagine a Formula One driver, okay? With the YouTube logos plastered all over his, what do you call it? A onesie? Is that a onesie?
Leather jacket?
What do they call it? What do they call it?
Racing jacket?
The jacket? Okay, it's a jacket. Imagine that. That is what Jake is currently wearing right now. He's a big walking billboard for this fucking platform.
Okay, so we got some patches. 20 years and counting. YouTube established 2006. 2012, is that when you formed your channel?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have anything on the back?
It says like gamer ranks.
Gamer ranks. Okay, right, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, YouTube. Now I look like the coolest guy. I definitely can show up to a nice dinner with my wife wearing this.
You should wear that in polite society and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of no one looking at me ever, so this jacket's gonna work out really well.
Do you have a YouTube hat that goes with it, or like sunglasses or some shit?
Do you have a
just
YouTube car?
Just go full Pepsi Man.
Do I have a YouTube car? It's just a Honda Civic with the play button on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank you, YouTube, for sending me this jacket. But I'm very hot.
Yeah, nice.
I like this. I like this show being a rotating. Me showing you guys my silly jackets. Yeah,
it's the Resident Evil one. It's this. You got a Metal Gear jacket, right?
Yeah. Oh, I got a couple.
A couple.
Please.
Of course, I
He's
got
got
a couple. There's a couple. Just a couple.
Oh no, I got a cyberpunk, like a cool cyberpunk jacket.
Oh,
from
the
Carbon Core.
Yeah.
Does it have the
Made
collar?
The Edgerunners one. No.
Oh, okay.
It's from Edgerunners, so it has all the characters on.
That's nice.
Oh man,
It's nice.
That's
it's
cool.
Fun. But otherwise, I just got like a plain black hoodie. I'm blacking in the jacket game. Ralph's just wearing like a nice jumper.
Lululemon, baby. Right here, right now.
Ooh.
Dude, they make good sweaters.
That is all I buy
crazy.
at this point. I don't even activewear. I don't even care. It's just it's my full wardrobe at this point, baby. Just I don't even think about it. I just buy it.
Shit's
from Lululemon.
expensive though.
It's
That's the only
expensive
thing. At least in the States.
Because it lasts. Okay, I will gladly be a spokesperson for Lululemon. I know they're not looking for my body type on camera. That's fine. No disrespect. But the point is, it's great shit, man. It's expensive, but it lasts. Okay. I will make that point.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ralph only wears their yoga leggings, and
That's right. That's why
he's had to be shot from there.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't want to see that shit, man. I'm gonna blur that shit out. Put an age rating on this fucking podcast. Hits it in the algorithm real hard, you know.
Welcome. Speaking of podcasts, welcome to the episode of Friends Per Second, where we talk about video games. I'm Lucy. He's Ralph. He's Jake. We're back. It's been a couple weeks. What you guys been up to?
Oh boy.
I am still recovering from the flood, which happened. It's okay though. Life goes on. The office is very comfortable, but very brightly lit, which I'm still not a fan of. I do miss my dark dungeon. But other than that, I've just been playing quite a few video games. One of them is under embargo right now, so I can't talk about it. We can talk about it next week, so keen for that. Some of them I can talk about, like for example Forza, which the preview just went up just today because we're recording this on a Thursday Australian time, Wednesday US time. So we'll talk about that later in the episode. And and I'm replaying Silksong again for the third time.
Do we have to intervention you?
Nope, you don't. It's everything.
Okay.
I need to intervention you for not playing Silksong. That's what needs to happen. So
Okay, fine.
The guy who always is playing the latest and greatest and always in pursuit of what's I'm surprised you've
It's because he's found it, and it's Silksong.
As I said, it's literally the only game I've replayed like in the last like 10 years, and
wow.
This is now the third time I'm playing it, just because I just was like, I just want to play something, and
I just want to feel something.
Actually, that's not quite the reason. Actually, the reason I did start playing it is because I got sent this thing, which is the what do you call it? The Lenovo Legion Go S. So I was like, oh, I'll test out a bunch of games on this thing, right? And then I was like, I just ended up playing Silksong. like I just am already like 20 hours deep into another thing, and I'm like, I'll just do a quick playthrough. I'm like, no, I'll just 100% it again. Like, let's do that again.
Jeez, man.
So,
good for you.
Yeah,
Look at that.
That's been me. Anyway, what's happening with you, Jake?
Nothing really. I just kind of been working, and that's it. Just working. Just I be gaming. That's it.
What's the weather like in Long Island right now?
We're in that in between where it's like in between winter and spring.
Okay.
So the flowers are blooming.
Very nice.
It's great. The allergies are coming up, but at the same time, it suddenly plummets to freezing temperatures again.
Okay.
And so it's all over the place. It's like, what do I wear? What do I do? Am I sick? Do I have a cold? What's going on? So yeah, we're getting through it.
Do you have to layer up a lot? Because like in San Francisco, the Bay Area, because of the microclimates, you have to just take multiple layers with you and hope that you have enough clothes for the weather you might face, because you just don't know.
Yeah, it's not. I guess it's not that bad here. I also run extremely hot. I'm unfortunately one of those people where like
Right,
I could
Jake.
exist in a
Right, bro.
t-shirt all year round.
If you say
but
so, man.
I prefer layers. Layers look cooler. Like right now, for
Yeah.
example. Is there anything on the inside?
Oh, hang on. Someone's ringing. Hang on. You guys keep going.
Oh. Okay. He's gone. We can talk about him.
All right. Well, what's
I
your
actually
biggest
really
beef?
like this. I like this lit room. I know he says
Oh.
that he hates it and he misses his dungeon, but I actually really like this.
No,
this
yeah, I
background.
was gonna say it like shows off how healthy he looks and how youthful he looks.
And
like
how much tennis he plays.
Yeah, like I think the bright light does
Sorry
a
about
good.
that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
we were just talking about Hollow Knight.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Silksong.
Wow,
Yeah.
I
How much
missed
we
that.
love Act
Yeah.
3.
Oh, damn it. All right, fuck you guys.
Oh.
Let's keep going, please. You're just trolling me right now.
Okay. I'm going to Amsterdam on Friday, so I need recommendations for stuff to play on the plane.
Oh boy. Well,
Don't say Silksong.
God damn it. Crimson Desert. No, I'm joking. I tried to boot that up on Steam Deck. It just crashes immediately. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
it
if it's
doesn't
the-
wanna-
Oh yeah.
It just like crashes.
No. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I'm looking at my Steam backlogs. I'm like, why am I asking for recommendations when I have so much
You
stuff?
have
It's
the
like,
better.
you know.
If, in terms of games that are best played on Steam Deck, you're the person we ask. For
You are the
recommendations.
recommendation.
You are the Steam
Yeah.
Deck recommendation person.
That's the thing. Unfortunately, it probably would just be Raccoin for 12 hours.
That's right. I've installed that, but I haven't actually played it yet. So
Did we talk about it last time? I forget.
I don't think so. You just recommended it, Rob. We didn't talk about it on the podcast, did we?
no.
No.
What? Raccoin?
Raccoin.
Yeah.
Raccoin City? What is this?
No.
Take me down to We'll talk about it. It's the new one from PlayStack. It's like Balatro,
Oh.
but you
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
gambling.
Coins in.
It's just more gambling, but
but
turned into a
gambling
roguelike.
without losing money. Is
Yeah,
that
well, how many
ethical
times
ga-
can we
is
say that
ethical
before we?
gambling?
Every big roguelite right now is like a slot machine without losing money, and poker without losing money, and this coin game without losing money. There's definitely gonna be a pachinko one that emerges eventually, like for sure.
Do
So
you guys gamble for real? Have you ever like partaken in that?
it's so
Partoken?
weird. I have always loathed the idea of gambling. I just like instinctively there's something about me that just recoils from it. Like I go to the races and like, you know, you wear a fancy suit and, you know, buy a old fashioned cocktail and like haha.
Yeah.
And then when it comes like time to bet, I'm like $5 on this horse, please. You know what I mean? Like that's it, you know? And in fact, what I always do is whenever I go to the races or whatever, I'll put $5 on the longest odds horse. Like the horse that's basically like missing a leg and it's just recovering from pneumonia. It's got no chance of winning.
You're like, I like that guy.
Yeah, that's right. Because like basically, if I win like on a $5 bet, doesn't matter. But if I win
Yeah.
as in the long odds, and that actually has worked one time where I did win on the longest odds available, and I took home like $600 on $5 or something. And I was like,
Wow.
fuck yeah, let's go. But
And that's
every
it.
other
That's when you
time, it's
retire.
failed. Having said that, I think into my total gambling losses over the course of my entire life, I think would equate to no more than like $100. Because I just
Yeah.
simply do not gamble. I don't know. Like, were you all up in this, Jake? You go to Atlantic City every weekend and fucking...
No, it's funny you mention that though. I'm actually going to Atlantic City this weekend for the first time.
There
Not
we
by
go.
choice. Not
Okay.
by choice, but for a
the
bachelor party.
The Boardwalk Empire.
That's I'm literally going and I'm like, oh boy, I hope it's like my favorite show.
Yeah.
Apparently it's not. Apparently
no,
it's not like that
I
at all.
will say I went to Atlantic City in like 2014.
Okay.
It was perhaps the most depressing place I've ever been to. Sorry
Okay.
to Atlantic City people, but it was December and everything was closed.
Okay. Yeah.
And we stayed at this hotel/casino that I kid you not was $20 a night. And
How's
No,
that
no, no.
possible?
it gets worse. When we got there was this giant like open room, right? And there's this big escalator that goes up in the middle. And we were like, Jesus, this can't be safe. Like, this is casino. Everyone's drinking and doing whatever. And like 2 weeks later, we found out that someone fell off that,
Yeah.
broke his leg really badly or something. And then, yeah, that casino doesn't exist anymore. So,
Oh god.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm looking
I also
forward to
don't
going.
gamble, but if I'm in Vegas, I will do the thing where I like bet $5 at a blackjack table or something, because then they bring you drinks for
Yeah.
free
no,
if
I
you are
would do that
gambling.
for sure.
So then I just, like tip whoever brings me a drink, and then
That's a good
just-
system.
I don't know, be like a Bond girl and just stand at the table. Like, oh.
That's what I try and do. I like watching other people ruin their lives.
Nice.
I also try and like be like a seed funding opportunity where like if I have one friend that's like really into it, I'll be like, here's $20, buddy. See what you can do with this. Because I'm too cheap. I don't want to lose my money. Like that's the furthest I'll go. Like
I don't want to lose my money.
No, it's gross. And I remember like growing, because we don't have, it's weird, like you don't really have them in the same way, but in Australia we have like slot machines. Well, you have slot machines. We call them pokies, like poker machines. And like they're fucking everywhere in Australia. Like it's a plague. Oh my God. Yeah. Like every pub, every club, like it's insane. And they're so lucrative.
Oh no, British pubs also very big on the machines. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The fruit machines we call
fruit
them.
machines. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. I just kind of watched some of my like younger friends when I was like coming up like out of high school or whatever. Just like they just got on the pokies when they were like 19 years old. And that's just what all their money went onto it. They'd spend it like a Saturday night just sitting there like an old age pensioner, just betting
just
all of their
tapping
like,
the button.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't even have any money to lose, but they were just doing that all night long. I'm just like, wow, that is bad. And so I guess that may be why I hate gambling as much as I do, because I just like saw that and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
So,
I watched the Louis Theroux gambling like Vegas documentary.
Oh, I remember that. That's an older one now, right? Yeah.
It's a very old one, but I just remember, the old woman who basically gambled away her son's, like, her house and everything. And her son was like, you know what, it's her money, she can do whatever she wants, but like she lost basically everything. And the guy who went and he was like, yeah. And then he gambles away his kid's college fund or something while he's there, just over a weekend. And I was like,
God, that'd be so bad, wouldn't it? Fucking hell.
yeah.
Anyway, this is a real bummer of a topic.
Yeah.
Speaking
no,
of
I should-
coins,
I forgot
speaking
one
of
thing.
coins,
All right,
I did
Jessica,
go.
one thing.
I did
Okay.
go to Animal Kingdom in Disney World.
how was that?
And it was great because there's a whole Pandora Avatar area. It's so awesome. It's so sweet, dude.
Was
Like,
anyone
they got,
else
like,
there? Does anyone care about
There were
Avatar?
a lot of people there, and I had to
Okay.
wait on a really long line
Okay.
to do an Avatar ride, and it was fantastic.
Okay.
Do they have people
Because-
dressed up as Na'vi?
No, I was like, that was my first thought. I was like, are there going to be like big blue people walking around? Not one.
Damn.
Not one.
That sucks.
Yeah, that was a wasted opportunity. But the set design, or like the park design, whatever the hell they call it,
Yeah, I
like
know the
they had
ones,
like
yeah.
floating rocks and waterfalls everywhere and weird plants. I really enjoyed that. But waiting online for this stupid ride,
What's the ride called?
I don't know.
The Battle of Hallelujah Mountain.
Yes.
The only Avatar thing I will ever remember.
But the what was cool is that waiting on, you know how like when you wait on lines at these theme parks, they like put work into the lines
Oh,
because
yeah.
you're going to be sitting on it for so long. So I shit you not, I waited on a long line and it was a James Cameron hallway, like
What do
just
you
a
mean?
science fiction hallway with like, you know what I mean? Like when I say that, like it's just like pipes and like cool. Like, and I was just sitting there, I'm like, wow, this is awesome.
Oh,
But-
okay. I thought you meant when you said James Cameron hallway, I thought you meant like
Just
dedicated
like a
to the life
memorial.
and works of James Cameron.
busts of him talking about shit, like
So
being annoyed about things. Like, yeah.
the ride is like a flight. It's like a VR flight thing where you fly through
Okay.
Pandora. And while you're waiting online for the ride, they have screens and people like briefing you. And it's like, you're going to be riding on a Banshee and blah, 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 blah. And I looked at Amanda and I was like, I don't know. That's like a fucking... That's like the
That's a
military
Halo thing.
helicopter. Yeah, I was like, that's like the military helicopter from the movies. And she goes, oh, okay, cool. And then as we got closer, you're riding on the creature, an Ikran. So I realized that I only knew it in its native tongue language, and they were referring to it in the
Oh my
the
God.
English language. And I was like, damn. Anyway, the ride is incredible, and I cried a
She's a
little.
good
It was
wife.
cool.
And you cried a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Like when you swoop down and you're riding on this thing.
No,
and
listen.
like,
Can I say this? I want to say this. I am actually really against the trend of every ride just being like a VR ride. Like I think
too
it
many
sucks.
screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
it's funny too. Like a lot of the rides now, I've noticed just in general, like Universal and stuff, they're all screens, and then like newer rides have like 4K resolution, and then like when you go back to older rides, it's like 720p, and you're like, what is it?
Oh,
This
Simpsons
isn't even.
versus Transformers is.
Yeah, it's like
sure.
IPS panel. Like, what are we doing here?
We need to get Jenna Nicholson on to talk about this further.
Oh, yeah. I think she's done a really good. I swear she's done an Avatar Land
I didn't know that. Right?
video
I didn't see
already.
that.
I think
Okay.
so. I mean, she just dropped a new one about Twilight, which I need to.
Yeah, that's on my watch
need to
list for
watch.
sure.
I do these things because my wife travels a lot for work. So then when she goes somewhere cool, I'm like, I'll come too.
I'll come.
I'll go to
and
Disneyland.
just do something fun. Yeah.
Nice.
Did you get any? What do the Na'vi eat? Do they have like?
They like
Special-
weird fruit
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I think they eat? Like, do you remember in Lion King when the monkey
Yep, I
like
know exactly
cracked
what you're
open the
talking about.
fruits to
They eat
paint?
that.
Yeah.
I feel like they just eat that.
Yeah, I agree.
If I could eat any Disney food like that, you know the gray stuff from Beauty and the Beast, where they do Be Our Guest, and she has like this gray paste, and she just like sticks.
No,
a
I remember
finger
the
in it.
jelly from that scene though. I would eat that.
Yeah.
jelly.
Yeah, I do
Jelly's
too.
good.
It's such like so specific.
It's
God,
very
Yeah.
it's very buxom jelly. Let's put it that way.
I was into the pizza.
It's very buxom jelly.
What is that?
Buxom jelly.
That's right.
Ew.
She
Wait,
sure does shake it.
I thought that was a regional thing for a second. I was like,
All right.
oh, it must just be the brand.
Speaking of animated movies,
Yes, please. How was Mario?
I saw
Yes.
the Mario movie.
Did you like the first one?
I
haven't
listen.
seen.
I
haven't seen
did
either.
enjoy the first one. Okay, I am a defender of the first one, not in the sense that it's a fantastic film, but in the sense that like critics really flayed it and they're like, this sucks or whatever else. And I'm like, look, it's not Shakespeare, but it's a good time. I think it gets some things right, it misses the boat on some other things, but overall it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm aligned. Definitely.
But
The Galaxy movie is absolutely horrific. It is unwatchable garbage. It is so unbelievably bad. I could not, I just simply could not believe how bad this film was. I really
Is it
was
like
what-
Illumination's
what-
worst tendencies? Like,
what, they put
essentially,
minions
like-
in it?
I mean, it's not really. Well, I mean, everything feels like a Minions kind of moment where something dumb and vacuous happens, and it's meant to be funny, but it's not. Like the
Yeah.
whole thing is just terrible. Honestly, it really does feel like an AI. It feels like an AI creation. Like it's just so soulless, so lifeless, so kind of just like spectacle after spectacle, and none of it really makes any sense, and none of the characters really remark what's going on around them. They just kind of move through. You know how like AI can only make things happen. It can't really like create characters that can respond to what's going on around them, because everything just sort of has to move with this momentum. It feels like that. It's like there was never a moment where anyone actually stops and pauses and is kind of like, whoa, it's kind of interesting that thing just happened, isn't it? It all just kind of happens endlessly. And so for, I don't know, like 110 minutes, however long it is, it just
That's
honestly
too
feels...
long for
I
a
don't know how it
kid's
is. I
film.
don't quote me on that. Or maybe I'll check the
Yeah.
runtime, right?
I'm like, you expect kids to sit around for longer than a...
Mario movie, it's 1 hour and 38 minutes. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
right?
I mean, still, you know,
Yeah.
I would get it
So
closer to 90.
it's just awful. It's just so unbelievably
Wow.
awful. And
Man.
I'm so sad about it because, you know, like obviously Mario Galaxy is Mario Galaxy. Like it's incredibly special and it's one of the greatest games ever made. Some of the greatest games ever made, you know, and Nintendo is Nintendo, and they've got these incredible characters that you can do so much with. And it's the kind of thing where you'd want this to be an artifact that you could like show children and be like, here's a chance to experience just a little bit of Nintendo magic in a different way. But there's like no Nintendo magic here at all. There's nothing remotely Nintendo about this film other than like the characters that are in it. Like Yoshi's in it. And
Yeah.
all he is just like a character that arrives. And then
Does
he's just
Donald-
kind of around a little bit
What
throughout the
voice
movie.
does Donald Glover do for...
Nothing.
Yoshi.
Nothing. Just
Oh, he just does
says-
his voice.
No. He does a voice, but like it's just
Joshua.
it's not even that. Like you did a better Yoshi voice than Donald Glover
Thank you.
did. Do you know what I mean? And they didn't even have like Seth Rogen come back as like Donkey Kong this time.
What?
Or if he did, like maybe I was checking my phone at some point because I was so unbelievably checked out of this movie. I just couldn't. It's possible that he had one line that I missed or whatever, but honestly, not bringing him back is probably a good thing because he was so boring in that last film. He put no effort into that voice whatsoever. It was just like I'm just me.
He's getting his own film.
I have no idea.
Donkey
I
Kong.
don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, it has no interest for me. I'm afraid, despite being a hashtag gamer. The thing that I think about this is like, Nintendo are so precious about all of their properties. It's kind of weird to me that they would allow this, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
Like, the review's been all over the place. Like, I think the Times of London or whatever gave it a 0 out of 5.
I actually agree with that review, by the way.
Yeah.
I actually give this movie a 0. Like, I just think that reviewer said, like, oh, I had to repeatedly stab myself in the leg to keep myself awake. And when I was in this movie, I was like, I really wish I had a pen with me right now. Yeah. Like, I totally agree with that review. I just think there's nothing remotely redeeming about this at all.
So and like, and the thing is, because sorry, go ahead.
Well, Shigeru Miyamoto, like, why did Nintendo allow this? I think, like, it's not really allow them. Like, they created it. Like, this is a Shigeru Miyamoto production, you know. And so, I mean, like, I think and this Nintendo, like, they're going to have full veto rights over anything that goes on with this. And if they receive a dog shit script, I think they're going to say, no, this is dog shit. We're not going to make this. Let's start again on the scripting process. But clearly they greenlit it and they went along with it. And that's it. And it's kind of like, well, that's bad. You need to not do that again. You know what I mean? Because there'll be more of these movies for sure.
Oh, 100%. The other thing that God, there's so much cat hair in here. Ralph, you would die. Sorry, she's molting. It's the summer. The thing that gets me as well is that, like, the argument where people say it's a kids movie, it's not supposed to be good, or like it's a kids movie, they don't understand. It's like, just because it's for children doesn't mean the same amount of effort shouldn't go into it. Like, this is something that a kid could potentially watch and latch onto, like, if their brain is in a very plastic state of plasticity and they are just like latching onto things and want to learn to love them. And if you're learning to love something that is objectively shit,
it's terrible
and just not fun, it's like,
I mean,
what does that say about our society and how we view art and how we view children and children's relationship to art? And maybe it's because we're of a generation where it's like, it feels like the movies we grew up with are iconic and lasting. And if you look at Star Wars, or if you look at Princess Bride, or if you look at The Goonies, like stuff like that, the things that we watched is Labyrinth, like that stuff was inventive.
Weird.
All kids. I mean, hey, Princess Bride is still one of the greatest movies ever made. But like, I don't know. It's a little sad to me, because that's the thing. There can be good kids movies. There can be amazing kids shows. Like I have been babysitting a lot recently, and the amount of Bluey I have watched is Bluey is excellent.
It's incredible. It's amazing. And that's the thing, right? Yeah. Like, I agree. I don't even really bother interfacing with that argument of being like, oh, it's for kids. It's okay if it sucks. Sure, you can make stuff for kids that sucks and it's fine. But also, like, with something like this, I think it's incumbent upon you, and you've got the ability to make something that doesn't suck. Like, if you just want to turn around Cocomelon, you can do that, and it's going to get like 400 million views on YouTube. It's still garbage, but it'll do well, right? Whereas it's like, if you're Nintendo and you're backed by Universal and you're spending like over $100 million to make a movie with some of the most beloved characters of all time, you really need to do a good job with that. And it's kind of like they really, really didn't. So I don't know. I'm really bummed about it. As I said, enjoyed the first film. Not great, but this one is a massive, massive step down versus that. It's just Easter eggs. Yeah. It's honestly just Easter eggs and little and action sequences loosely strung together by a completely non-existent plot. The character arcs that exists are all incredibly weak and unbelievable and silly. Most of the characters are criminally underutilized. It's just unwatchable. I honestly couldn't bring myself to watch this again. I'd happily watch the first one again, but I couldn't bring myself to watch. I barely made it through this film. I'll put it that way.
Damn. Yeah, I like the first one. But I understand why, like, it's not like high art or anything.
Sure.
And I do feel like there's a road where the first one could have went towards that darker illumination slop road, and it sounds like that's kind of what they did with this one.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I don't know, because they have obviously other cinematic ambitions. They're working on a Zelda movie. And that one is obviously a live action one, and you can't I don't know, you can't really get away with having no plot in a live action film. Otherwise, you get that Rebel Moon situation from Snyder. And we all know how that went, you know what I mean?
Did you see the art director from Majora's Mask? And he's been on various other Nintendo things. He had a really interesting comment about the Zelda movie.
What did he say?
No.
He said, essentially, I don't want to I want to get his exact words, but he basically said that the second Link speaks in the movie, it's like, I want to get the exact quote.
It's over.
It's over.
Here's the exact quote, and this is from Takaya Imamura, who said on Twitter, "The moment Link speaks, I can't help but worry a little that the Zelda magic that everyone has been nurturing in their hearts might vanish into thin air." And
wow,
he kind of nailed how I feel, where like I'm hopeful for a Zelda movie, but that's tough to live up to a character that has never spoken.
Yeah.
And we all have our own
Could you
little,
have a silent protagonist?
That's the thing in a movie.
Like every time he's gonna speak, he gets cut off.
It's a bit. The whole movie.
It's a bit.
That would actually be good. But I feel like you can in like an indie movie or a more artful movie, not this massive $1 billion IP.
I don't know. Like, it would be an interesting challenge. Like, there are moments you can kind of picture scenes of how it could work, but then you think about, well, could it work over a 2-hour film? And I don't know, to be honest with you. But I agree with the idea that like Link speaking is sort of, it does shatter something. I don't know. I think Link is always like defined by his deeds and by the little sounds that he makes rather than the words that he says. And I don't know. I wonder how you could do that. I think it's worth pursuing, though. I don't know. Yeah. Have there been any movies like with a main character who doesn't speak?
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, famously, what was it in Terminator 1? Arnie had like 10 lines or something. He barely said
but he wasn't the
anything.
main character though.
He wasn't. Yeah.
So
he was to me.
He was to me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's enough that he only says a few words, because obviously
I could do that.
I think in Terminator 2, Arnie had the total of like 50 lines, right, in the whole movie, and obviously
Still out, dickwad.
nice loose. So maybe it could work if he's really laconic and just doesn't say much. That could be something. I don't know.
Yeah,
why
like
I'm
just enough to
fascinated
move the
to-
plot along. Kind of like Mad Max in Fury Road. He barely says anything.
True. Yeah, he barely says anything. That's so true. That could
Does
work.
John Wick say much? I don't think John Wick says a lot.
Nah, a little bit.
I'm thinking I'm back.
Yeah.
You working? Yeah.
But I hope that they have. I hope that this is like cause for intervention at Nintendo, because obviously this movie is going to make all the money in the world, and already it's at like $400 million over like a $100 million budget. So it's making money, but I think at the same time it's like you could do a lot more with this. It could be much more important. It could have more reach. I think about like Pokemon, for example, which still makes like all the money in the world, but like mainline Pokemon
They're
games
reading that in.
are terrible.
They're
They're terrible. They are. And so it's kind of like you could do, and then you have Pokemon Pocopia, which comes along, and it's like the best shit ever. It's incredible. I love it. Everyone who picks it up is addicted to it. It's kind of like, well, that's what you could be doing if you wanted to, you know? So I think it's the same sort of thing with the cinematic stuff.
Can I tell a quick story about the Pokemon movie, which I think you'll relate to this.
Go on.
The
Ralph.
Detective Pikachu one or the
No,
Mewtwo
like-
Strikes Back?
The one that came out in what, 2000?
Yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
So my dad took me to see it, and this was, peak Pokemon craze for young Lucy. And I was there, and I was so excited. My dad hated this movie so much that he fell asleep. He fell asleep in the
God
theater.
bless.
Okay,
That's fair.
And at the end, he wakes up and he stands up to leave, but I'm not moving anywhere. And he's like, "Come on, what are you doing? Let's go." Says this out loud. The lights haven't come on. And it's because for that movie, there were actually two. And there was one that was Pikachu's Island, which was like the little movie, the taster movie they played before. And then my dad looked at me and I was like, the film hasn't started yet. And I have never seen the life go out of my dad's eyes as much as when I told him
Like,
that
there's
the film
more?
hadn't even begun. And he was just like, to this day, it's been like 25 years. He's never let me forget.
To be fair, he's a good dad for taking you to something that he clearly
Yes.
hated and had no interest in.
Yeah.
He did it all for you, so that's a nice story at the end of the day.
So
Not
it's
as
like
good
the
as
Mario,
time
it's like
we
the
went to
Mario
see-
Galaxy movie.
Hey.
Yeah.
Not as good as the time we went to see Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams in it,
Sure.
and they played the reels in the wrong order.
No way. Okay, and they didn't fix that halfway through or something?
No, they started the movie again.
Okay,
My
right,
dad
I
was
see.
like, no.
So, no.
I saw
way.
The Ring. Like it was like The Ring was out and there was like so much buzz around it. And it was like the scariest movie. And when I saw The Ring, for some reason they played like the full like open mat. I don't know how it happened, but you could see the boom mics in certain shots. And it was like funny and it was like unintentionally hilarious because it would be like something terrifying and you'd see a
great.
little like microphone hovering. And that just, I was like, that's never happened to me before. That was crazy.
It was
Still
like
terrifying.
When, like, I think when they put like Mad Men on Netflix recently, they
Oh, yes.
accidentally included a scene that actually included like the vomit machine operator being there during a scene where people were throwing up. Like you can see this person like operating this thing.
Great.
Because it was like some rework of it was like
I
a
don't
mastered
know.
version of it or something.
No idea.
I love that.
Anyway, long story short, Mario movie. Look, and as I said, I know that there's people out there who are watching it and they're like, I actually enjoyed it. Like, fair enough, that's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying this is what I think. I think it was horrific garbage. I hated it. I think it's a 0 out of 10. I think it's one of the worst movies I've ever had the displeasure of watching. I think it's a massive disservice to Nintendo. And I think Nintendo really need to completely rethink their approach to filmmaking because this is a rock bottom moment across like the history of cinema. That's just my take.
Wow.
Put that on the back of the VHS box. That was incredible.
Impossible.
That was great. That was the Roger Ebert review. I
Did
really
you-
do think though it has more weight because you actually liked the first
Yeah,
one. I
I
do
actually
feel like
did.
there's a lot of people out there that hated the first
For
one
sure.
and then hated this one even more.
Yeah.
So
Did you see the leaked Elden Ring sets?
I did. Yep.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what that movie's going to be, but it was enough that Alex Garland flew to Japan, presented his idea to Miyazaki, and Miyazaki said yes.
I mean,
I am so excited to see
I
what
think
that's
you could
going to
do really like. Has there ever been a film like that embraced really dark gothic fantasy that we can think of?
Green Knight.
I haven't actually seen Green Knight, so
Oh, Green Knight's great.
Green Knight
okay,
is a
like
banger,
really dark
top
gothic
tier.
fantasy, is it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
okay, okay,
Yeah, oh,
cool,
yeah.
okay,
Um,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, this.
But no, I'm so excited to see what they do there.
For sure.
Yeah, Alex Garland I feel like is a very like visually, like I like his eye,
Yeah.
so I think that'll be really cool.
Oh, I just watched 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
The Bone.
Which,
Everyone
I mean, I
hated
know he
your
didn't
take on
direct
that,
it, but
Jake. Everyone was like, no,
I know.
Jake's wrong about Bone Temple.
Jake is
Okay,
perfectly
whatever.
correct about Bone Temple. Bone Temple
thank you.
fucking rips.
Wait,
Did I say
was
that?
your
I think
take.
I said it was like okay.
Yeah, you said it was
Oh,
okay.
in that
yeah.
case, no, I take it back. I take it back. You're an idiot.
I like the big part with with Ray Fiennes being crazy.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you liked that movie, but you liked the first one, right? 28 Years?
Yeah, they're both like all right. They're fine. You know, they both have like interesting like good things about them.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm British and from
There's
the north of
definitely a
England, so
cultural thing
there's-
there, yeah.
Yeah, there's 100% a huge cultural
Because of that
thing. I
guy, like
thought Bone Temple.
Johnny Murder
Jimmy
Boys.
Savile.
Jimmy Savile.
Jimmy
Yeah, whatever.
Savile.
Bro. Last year, I had to tell people, because my friends
Don't
were like,
dress like him for Halloween.
don't dress like him for Halloween. Like, I had to send so many voice notes about what that man did. Anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on.
The PS5 price hikes.
Yeah.
There is no way to get from Jimmy Savile to a PS5 price hike. Okay, we're just going past it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's not even try. It could be very.
Let's
bad
not
if
even
we
try.
tried. Yep.
Gone up a lot. Fuck no.
So, the headline on
Let's
this
break
is
it
that
down.
Sony recently increased the price of PlayStation 5s across the board, and not by a little bit either, by a fair amount. I'm trying to bring up the
Yeah.
exact
Yeah,
dollar figures.
I got it right here.
Have you got it? Tell us, Jake.
Yep. It is. Sorry, GameSpot's fucking site is taking so long to load.
Sorry.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
So
If you didn't have any
the
ads.
the
This week in video games
PS5.
dot com.
We need them to live.
Speaking of video games,
The PS5 is so we're talking US prices.
Yeah.
It was $550. Now it is $650. The PS5 Pro was $750. Now it is $900.
Yeah. In Australian dollars, by the way, the PS5 Pro is now 1,400 Australian dollars, which is like a lot of money.
That's ridiculous.
I really like. I just that basically, because I worked in video games retail, and I think about what we used to charge for like a bundle for like a PlayStation or whatever, and I remember selling consoles for like $300-400 with like 2 games included or whatever. The idea that this is now, and obviously it's the top end console, right? It's the PS5 Pro, whatever else, but I can't imagine someone walking into retail, like a mum or a dad looking to buy a present for like a little Timmy or whatever, and they're like, yeah, $1,400. That's the one I want. I'm gonna pay for that. Like that's just seems completely insane to me.
Or even being a child and pitching to your parents.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Yes.
how many paper rounds is that? How many weeks of pocket money is that?
That's such a boomer way of framing it. And then the newspapers. We've got to deliver the newspapers. They don't fucking exist
round
anymore, Lucy. They're gone. Okay, they're long gone.
I used to get a pound a round. Did my whole round, I would get a pound.
Let's phrase that differently.
Oh. I get 1 British pound GBP for every time I did a paper delivery.
There we go.
I would mow lawns. I dragged around this busted old lawnmower and tried to mow people's lawns for money.
Okay. Yeah.
To get a PS2.
I used to,
but these are unobtainable.
These are because you go on.
I was gonna say, and it comes off of the last year we've seen Microsoft slowly inch up their pricing, where they announce like $50 here, $50 here. Nintendo's the only holdout, right? They've raised the price of accessories, but they've held off on Switch 2.
I think
price
Switch
going
2
up.
has got a price increase, right?
I thought it got a $50 one. No, Switch 1 got a $50 one.
Switch 1 got a $50 one. And,
you're right.
I believe what they
increased,
cut back on bundles for Switch 2.
Yeah.
But I've seen analysts, I think it was like Matt Piscatella or someone say like, it's got to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So it's bad across the board. I think prices in general for me, the big thing is, historically, console prices go down. And what that leads to is, in the past, like more people getting on board, right? Yeah. The people that are like, oh, no, I don't want one. Not yet. And then eventually, your PS3 drops to a reasonable price for you. And then you get a PS3 and then you get to play all those games. And then you're in that. So this to me is like, the economic, reasons, whatever. But also I really worry about growth and like getting gamers on board.
I totally agree. I think, install base is such a massive challenge in general. And it's just not like it's not going to grow at the rate it needs to grow in order to hit sort of like critical mass for the incredible, like the ridiculous cost of developing games these days. Like they just need to sell a lot of copies. And if there aren't consoles out there to play them, then like they won't sell. You know what I mean? And so it just feels like this entire business model doesn't quite work when this happens. I think this business model is predicated on the idea that consoles start expensive with, like your first adopters, and then your library builds over time, and then later on you get a larger install base who bought cheaper consoles, and they go back and they buy back catalog stuff, and it just continues to sort of go from there. But this is an inversion of that, and it's kind of like, I remember when the PS5 first released, a friend of mine was like, oh, I'm going to wait till it goes down in price. I'm like, okay, fair enough. And then when it went up in price once or whatever, I was like, oh, you should probably get one now because I don't know if it's going to go down. And he's like, oh, no, it'll go down later. I'm like, I don't know. And now here we are, So that person has just not bought a PS5 and will probably never buy a PS5 now because they just sort of, they're also now looking at, we're now towards the end of this generation. That's the other thing, right? Like, Xbox has already announced Project Helix. We assume that Sony's next gen console would be probably 27. And so at that point, it's kind of like, well, do I buy a really expensive console that's probably going to be like outdated in a couple of years? Or do I wait till next gen and then hope that one is at some price point that's still going to be expensive, but at least it's going to have shelf life of 7 years plus or whatever for the next console generation, right? But yeah, man, I think it's bad. I think it's very bad. And I definitely approach it from also the generational perspective. Like, I really do think about the kids. Because I think this hobby, like, this thing that we do, core gaming, like it's for millennials at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not really welcoming in younger generations because they're playing like Fortnite and Roblox and mobile games and all sort of shit, right? It's imperative that these consoles become more affordable so that your parents will impulse buy them as presents for their kids, and then kids can just like fall in love with shit and be like, yeah, cool, this is a part of me now. And that's, I just think about that with like, I don't know. I think about like comic books, for example, where like the fact that they weren't available at like newsstands, you know, like you didn't have kids like, you know, tugging at mum and dad's, like, you know, whatever, being like, can I buy this? Can I buy this? And that, like, that one comic book can be the reason that you start collecting and have like a lifelong collection to it. Now comics is mainly, again, for millennials. Do you know what I mean? It's like 40-year-old dudes who just like have a pull order and that's it, right? Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, again, when you don't have a distribution model that hits young people by some way, it has huge flow-on impacts, like down the line, right?
Well, I mean, look at the, you know, there's less and less shelf space dedicated to video games in stores. If you're Xbox, in some stores, there's no shelf space. And that was a huge thing, is that I remember going around with my mum and being like, oh my God, I've seen this game. Or like, and it would be, they'd be in Tesco, which would be our supermarket, like a food place. But we're like, you know, the game, you could not escape gaming. And now it's just like, yeah, there's going to be a whole generation that are just going to miss out. Wow, this is really like...
It's a bummer episode,
man. The poor kids. The poor kids.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not as simple as like, you know, I've seen some people in my comments say, well, I guess I'm just going to buy a PC now. But I don't think that's like a solution, like a full-scale solution to this problem. I think for some consumers it's going to be, but I don't think like everybody's just going to go buy a PC now because of PlayStation's too expensive. It doesn't really
let me tell you something about PC gaming.
PC gaming, PC components, like all that. So I don't know. It's hard not to like gloom and doom, but I think we need like killer apps, you know? I feel like that's what consoles need. Like,
I mean, let's say like the 3 best games ever made release in the next year. It doesn't change the price that like, it doesn't change the fact that the price is like, you know, 1,400 Australian dollars for a PS5, $900, you know? So I mean, we're looking at GTA 6, you know, and a lot of people are going to want to jump on, especially for like a pro, because they want to have the best GTA 6 experience. And they're going to look at $900 plus, you know, $110 or whatever it's going to be for like GTA. And it's not going to be that. It's going to be like $80 or whatever, right? And so you're looking at essentially $1,000 you're going to spend to play that. Are people going to front for that just to play GTA 6? Some people can and will. Many people simply cannot. Like, and that's it. And GTA 6 should be that kind of game where it's hitting, you know, at like the latter end of a console cycle. Install space is really huge. Console like prices are lower. You know, it could be the kind of thing where it should be a bonanza for console sales, but you just can't see it being that way because so many people are going to be priced out of this, and that's a real bummer. It's a real shame, you know. And like, how much is a Nintendo Switch in US dollars right now? A Switch 2?
$450?
$450, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think as well, like, there's something in that sort of price point, right? Which is kind of, if a parent comes to me right now and they're like, oh, what should I buy? You know, should I get a PS5 or a Switch? I'm like, well, obviously they play very different games. Like, they're very different types of devices in many ways, in most ways. But at the same time, I would very confidently recommend like a Switch to a parent, being like, you're going to spend $450. It's a pretty reasonable price point, inverted commas, for what you get. A very versatile machine with a fairly expansive library if you're talking about Switch 1 back catalog and whatever else. It just becomes that kind of thing where you can suggest that to a parent, and it's like, okay, fair enough. But when you start talking about what, $750 for how much is the base PS5 US dollars? $700 or $750? $700, right? That's the part where you go like, oh, that's a lot of money, man. You know, and even though the PS5 might be a better suited device in terms of its library and in terms of how that, you know, kid or teenager wants to play games, maybe it's just not possible, you know? So again, I just think that kind of price point of circa $450, it's like kind of where things need to be for all of this to work. And Nintendo's there right now. And while their device doesn't meet everyone's needs, their price point is like in the ballpark of what's needed.
I think that's also a tougher sell for PlayStation. I'm thinking specifically for like PS2 onward, is that a selling point for that was that it was a DVD player as well, and a music
100%.
player.
Yeah.
And so I remember when I was trying to convince my mum to get a PlayStation 2, one of my big things was like, well, we need it for DVDs. How else are we going to play?
I'm really doing this for the family, Mum.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's going to live in the living room and we can watch DVDs on it. But with smart TVs, with phones, with, we don't necessarily need another device. And it's like interesting to go back and see the Xbox One stuff when they were like, oh, well, this is the TV, this is the entertainment machine. And it's like, yeah, I kind of get maybe at the time before we'd fully moved into the smart TV world.
Yeah.
But now it's like your TV doesn't have all the channels, whatever you want. You plug in an Amazon stick or an Apple TV, and it's like that's so much cheaper. Before you
or just looking at your phone.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, for real. Like that's it. And that's what a lot of kids will do now, because if their parents can't afford to buy them a console, they will have to play phone games. And
no, they will watch other people do.
Watch other people do it as well. That's true.
But even too, like the doomer, like kind of, everybody just plays Fortnite and blah blah blah. But like, Epic just had a whole bunch of layoffs.
1,000 people.
And some of that was cited to drop off in Fortnite engagement. And it's like, man, that's considered the king in a lot of ways.
Well, I mean, it's still a tiny drop in the ocean compared to Roblox. Roblox is like disgustingly massive. It's so huge,
Yeah.
And not a drop in the ocean. That's not true. It's still let's just say it's dwarfed by the size of Roblox. Which again, that's what kids are playing, man. And it's kind of like, I don't know.
And Roblox, I feel like
great.
there's no pipe like I can kind of understand a Fortnite to other video games pipeline. With Roblox, I don't see, and maybe it's because I'm not in that world. I'm even more disconnected, but I just see that type of game and see that type of community and how kids get experiences in those games. I don't see a Roblox to traditional video games pipeline as easily for kids.
No. Yeah.
So
I
don't know.
Never played Roblox. I don't think I'm gonna start now.
We should all play Roblox together.
I've watched some stuff and I just think to myself, that looks horrendous. I have no interest in whatever that is.
I played Lego Island on PC in 1995. It looks like the same fucking thing.
It's so true.
I've seen people play that. What's the fashion game? And Lady Gaga had a tie-in, and I was like,
hell if I know.
That's ugly as sin, man. I don't know what we're doing.
And like, I don't even really care if it's ugly so long as it's like good gameplay loops. But from what I've seen, the gameplay loops are not good, and most of the Roblox games are just kind of like cash shops dressed up as like video games and whatever, So, anyway, I think it's bad times for the industry. I think it's not going to change anytime soon. And yeah, it just kind of is what it is, unfortunately. And I'd love for them to be able to figure it out. I'd love them to be able to deliver this hardware at a better price point. But at the end of the day, like, they are still subject to all of the pressures of like, memory prices and storage prices, which are really skyrocketing. And that's really not slowing down anytime soon. That all that CapEx is still going to continue, even if one or two players pull back, there's still huge demand for those things. And until that subsides, like, I don't think this is really going to change. But I do think you have to wonder, like, how does this affect their long-term strategy? Because I don't think PlayStation can just go forth into the next generation thinking, well, every console is just going to be $1,500 or more. That's the future of this industry. I just don't think that works. I think they're going to have to rethink something in some way. And I wonder also, like, is Microsoft sort of, are they in a strong position given all their investments in like cloud, which I know a lot of people don't like it. And I get it. Don't worry. I understand. I fully get it. But the point is, it's a really viable way to play video games for casual players who don't have, like, you can literally get PS5. You can get high-end PC performance for like $20 a month if you subscribe to like GeForce Now or whatever else, right? And I know all the downsides. Again, I get it. My point is, that's an affordable way to, participate in this hobby where you might otherwise be completely priced out by virtue of these current prices, So is Microsoft really well placed given how good xCloud is, and are more people going to sort of give that a try because, they can't afford to buy a latest gen or next gen console? I don't know,
Well, should we try and talk about something cheerier?
Oh, yeah. Well, hang on. But like, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. But like, how? Yeah, like, other than just things going back to normal in the world and prices coming back down a little bit, like, is that it? Is it that easy? Like,
No.
I feel like
It's
there's still all the other challenges just in terms of attention span and
discoverability,
game development, discoverability. Yeah, like I don't, it's hard not to be kind of concerned for just the entire future of video games. Are you guys as spooked as I am when this news dropped?
I mean, I'm concerned about the future of video games, but also I'm very aware it's the future of video games as we grew up with it and we know it. Like, things are changing. Yeah. Maybe there will be a chance that can change for the positive. I would like to believe that some positive will come in this industry, but it's hard to be completely, it's never going to go away. People will always want to experience games. They want to experience stories, like hang out with their friends and play a game. Like, I think that's just part and parcel of people, this like life experience. But I think the industry is really changing at a very rapid pace, and things that used to work, things that were done a certain way, that doesn't work anymore, and the video game industry has to adapt, and it's going to look very different. But I choose to believe, because I can't bear to think of the alternative, that it will always be around in some way.
Well said.
I think, I'm in a similar place. I think that I think it's very easy to be very doom and gloom about like the AAA scene. And I do think that is like low-key doomed. What I mean is that like studios based in Santa Monica employing 500 people that work for 6 years on a story-driven game. I don't know that exists in the future. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? $300 million for a AAA Sony game, like that simply doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form, right? So do we lose that? Maybe, but does it get replaced by something else? It's like Expedition 33 was made on a budget of $10 million. Do you know what I mean? 10 million euros, I think, or I don't know, 10 million euros or dollars, I'm not sure. Point is, like, that's how much it cost to make that video game. Now, that is, one of the greatest games ever. The emotional impact that had was just extraordinary, right? And so I think you are going to see some destruction on that high level with those really massive budgets, but I think other things will fill the void, and different teams working in different ways using different technologies. And I just think that's kind of inevitable at this point, but I still think that some of that will exist in its own way. Like, I mean, I think about even just this year, like I'm looking at OpenCritic, best games of 2026, Pokemon Bocopia. It's made by, Koei Tecmo in partnership with Nintendo. And a simple game on one level in terms of like visuals or whatever else, but just like quite a vast game when you really dig into it. Resident Evil Requiem is the third highest rated game of the year. I mean, that's as like AAA as it gets, but I don't know that Capcom necessarily have like massive teams working on their games. Japanese developers usually keep things much smaller. Esoteric Ebb is the fourth highest rated game of the year, like a little quirky CRPG thing. Mugenics is a game made by 7 people, and that's the fifth highest rated game of the year. That was in development for 7 years by 7 people. What else? Can is again small team who made just a really incredible game. Neo 3, it's sort of like a double A to triple A sort of. I'd say it's a triple A game, but I don't know. It's sort of Team Ninja plays in that sort of double A space. But again, quite ambitious. Monster Hunter Stories 3's on there. We've got a WoW expansion, Midnight. The point is, there's quite a large smattering of different types of games made in different places with different studios. It's all still happening, and I do think that, that high-end business model of like making games in Santa Monica or Seattle or wherever, that seems like it's probably on its last legs. But I do think that lots of other things will rush in to fill the space, and I don't think we're going to be at all like starved for really great, compelling video games that made us feel the same way as those other games feel. Like, you know what I mean? I think other things will replace them.
That's a good point. I can definitely agree to some of that. Like, I always feel like when things are like look at modding communities and stuff like that. Like, I just feel like that's a good example of like life always finds a way when people are, I always say this in my videos, but like when people are big fans of games and they're talented and they're intelligent, crazy things happen no matter what.
Yeah.
So whether it's independent, double A, whatever, good. Thank God.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
It'll be fine. The way out is through.
The way out is through.
Now, shall
Speaking of way out, did you hear that Hazelight just has sold 50 million copies of video games in its lifetime?
Yes.
Jacob,
But
can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? 50 million copies for this little studio.
Million.
It's insanity. 30 million of that is It Takes Two, and then like 7 million for Split Fiction, and then the remainder is A Way Out. So
what about Brothers?
Damn impressive.
Was Brothers not on that?
I'm not sure if that was
Different.
listed on that.
I think that was technically a different studio.
Oh,
Was it?
okay.
Oh yeah,
I'm
he
pretty
was.
sure it
That's
was
right.
Joseph. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So like
That's great though, because
Good
those games
shit.
are great, and those games have the highest attach rate with me telling people
Yeah.
that aren't super into gaming. I tell people to try it, and they end up doing it, and then they're like locked in.
Yeah, true.
Like I've gotten people hooked on It Takes Two, and then they immediately bought Split Fiction day one.
Yeah, nice.
So.
Nice, excellent.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Hazelight, because that's actually in the user question that we're going to do after a quick word from our sponsor.
This episode brought to you by Raycon and their essential open earbuds. We are big fans of them. We've been using them for a while now. They sent them to us a couple of months back. You've probably heard of Raycons before. They're everywhere, as we all know. They're great quality sound at a very affordable price. You probably know them for their like everyday earbuds, the ones that go in your ear, but these are different. These are the open earbuds, and they actually go around your ear, as Jake is showing. So they kind of like sit on top of it. And if you want to show it up to the camera, Jake, so everyone can get like a nice clean look.
Yeah, sorry, it just connected to my computer
I see.
and messed everything up because it has multi-point connectivity.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's the
Look
same
at
way we
that.
want. Yeah, let's go.
But yeah, it pops right on. It's over your ear,
Yes.
and what's good is that you can still kind of hear the world around you.
For sure.
So it's got all the features, the handy dandy charging carrying case, but it gives you a little bit of a different feel and wear compared to a regular old earbud.
Yeah, and I think the biggest benefit of that, obviously, is that like if you're doing exercise, right? Because if you're walking, running, playing tennis, playing whatever, and you want to be able to listen to something while doing that, but you don't want to have a little piece of plastic jammed in your ear that's getting all sweaty and whatever else, then like this is the way to do it. That's certainly how I use them. I use them regularly when I'm going out for walks or runs or playing tennis. So I love them for that reason. I've just been super happy with them. They've been really great, to be honest with you. Like no complaints whatsoever. Battery life's been really good. Sound quality's good. The case is very convenient. Overall just a really solid product.
And hey, the other thing about Raycons is they make amazing gifts, and it's Mother's Day coming up.
Mother's Day.
Is Mother's Day coming up. So what better perfect gift for your mum or mum in your life than a pair of Raycons? She can enjoy her podcasts, watch her gardening shows. I'm pulling what my mum does.
That's right.
Watch her YouTubes.
Watch her monster truck shows, because she might be into that as well. Okay, let's not stereotype, Lucy. There you
I was
go.
talking about what my mum is into.
Yeah, fair enough.
And still be aware of the world around her. So you can celebrate the mums in your life by going to buyraycon.com/friendsopen to get 15% off the essential open earbuds. That is buyraycon.com/friendsopen. Get 15% off. Thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring this episode.
So picture this, right? You're home from work, or you're done with an activity, a workout, whatever. You're burnt. You're exhausted. The last thing you want to do is make some healthy food, right? Like
definitely not.
prepare a whole ass meal. Can I say ass?
Yeah, whole ass meal. It's an ass meal. Absolutely.
So look, a lot of times it comes down to people, eating healthy isn't a willpower problem. It's often a setup problem. But that's where the sponsor of this podcast, Factor, comes in. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. So with Factor, you can hit nutrition goals this season and not worry about meal planning, meal prepping, running to the grocery store, forgetting to cook something, your ingredients going bad. Factor's got it all figured out. They account for all different types of diets, preferences, options, add-ons, you name it. Now, Lucy, I know you've been getting down with Factor. What are you eating lunch? Are you eating dinner? Like, what are you eating?
So for me, it is more of a lunchtime thing, because during the day I am working. It is go, and I just cannot carve out that time to cook some things fresh from scratch, and so that is where Factor really fits into my life. I've never been the most adventurous when it comes to food, and so with Factor I've been trying do that and have been succeeding. Like I hate a green bean, but I actually love the green beans in Factor stuff, which
Nice.
is, hey, that is growth.
That is big growth. That's right. You're a big
That is
girl
big
now.
growth.
You're eating your
Yeah.
green vegetables. Very
But
nice.
you
And
know,
what helps-
there's a lot of veggies, lean proteins, whole foods, healthy fats, for kind of every kind of diet that you, if you're focusing on strength and recovery or weight loss or
Do
nutrition.
they have vegan
protein.
options for the vegans in
Yes,
our
they do.
lives?
Yes.
Yes, they
Wow,
do.
there
The
you
big
go.
thing is that they have over 100 rotating weekly meals
Wow.
and over 70 add-ons. So again, like options and choice is the big thing with Factor.
Yeah, and even better, it's ready in literally 2 minutes. You just
Nice.
stick them in the microwave. So
Easy.
super easy to fit into your life. So if you want to try it, head over to factormeals.com/FPS50off. Use the code FPS50off and you get 50% off and a free daily greens per box with a new subscription only while supplies last until the 27th of September 2026. See website for more details. That is factormeals.com/FPS50off and use the code FPS50off. Thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring this episode. And we're back with a user question. You can email them to contact@friendspersecond.com. This one is from Matthias, who said, "Hey, Friends Per Second crew. Just wanted to say I love the podcast. You guys are a big inspiration. I always look forward to each episode. Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
wanted to ask your advice on something personal. I'm an older brother and I've been introducing my sister to gaming. We've been playing It Takes Two and Cuphead together. It's been an amazing way to bond. The issue is my mum is very against video games. She's a medic and often brings up strong arguments about the negative effects, which I understand, but for me, gaming has been a really positive part of my life, both as a hobby and a community. How would you approach a conversation like this without it turning into an argument? And are there any games you'd recommend for someone like her to try so she can better understand why gaming means so much to me?"
That's a great question.
Damn,
really
man, that's a
great
really
question.
good question. That's a really
It's a
good question.
very-
It's very
if
much
I-
mirrors some of the experiences I've had in my life.
Me too. Not with
Honestly-
my dad. My dad was always very and is always very supportive of gaming. Like, but my mum never really got it.
I feel like I can only speak to she had health concerns. Was that it?
So she's a medic and often brings up strong arguments about the negative effect.
Right. Okay. So my first thing that came to mind was like presenting her with this is going to sound silly, stick with me, like a Comic-Con or a PAX East or a giant video game convention filled with incredible people all engaging with the medium and the hobby and loving it together. And they're all alive. They're in good
thriving.
health. They're all in good health and it's fine. I mean, good health, you know what I mean? Like, come on. I get it. It's a sedentary hobby.
She's gonna walk in and be like, "What's that smell in here? What's going on in this
Yeah,
place?"
exactly. Yeah. She's
Well, like,
actually
don't
gonna
focus
become
on the
more
smell.
alarmed.
Just focus on the
Just
fact
look at
that
how-
they're alive. They're
Look at how
alive.
happy they all are.
Yeah, they're alive and thriving. Come on.
No, I mean, I think ultimately, like, it's quite, like, I don't want to use the word sad, but, you know, I am sad for you, Matthias, that your mother doesn't, you know, want to kind of meet you a little bit halfway and have that, because I think it is, to your point, a very incredible thing to connect over. I connected with my dad a lot over gaming. We would play together, the same with my sister, and I think if your mum is coming at it from a medic point of view, you can try and do the thing. I would maybe advise against this, but you can always say, like, if you are talking about studies where they have found negative impacts of gaming, try and counter with the ones where they're talking about reaction time. They're talking about people learning social skills and whatever. You know, like, there's that but that to me feels like an argument stuff. I think an impactful way of doing it is you can say to her that gaming can literally be a lifeline for some people. So if you look at the work that Xbox is doing with accessibility, able gamers, special effect, and the testimonials of people who maybe can't leave the house, people with disabilities, people who they exist in this more online, and they make friends that way, and they also get to have these shared experiences that they would otherwise not be able to because they are like physically unable to do so. So I mean, there's an avenue you could talk about. You could just talk about the fact that it's like, hey, this is just a thing that I love, and I think that's as well quite a powerful thing. And it's like you can just be like, I can be, I can experience different stories. To me, it's like watching a film, but this time I get to play around with it. I have agency in it. There's lots of different ways to approach it. Obviously, we don't know you, we don't know your mum.
Yeah.
But I'm glad your sister's also loving gaming. I think that's really nice. That'll be creating some great memories for her.
I think it's also hard to approach it from a kind of like intellectual perspective of being like, here's these studies and here's this thing and here's that example. It's kind of like
brings in more money than music and movies.
That's right.
Put together.
I think that like I think it's I think a lot of it often comes down to like your personal habits and moderation, right? Because I think the people in my life who have who have given me resistance to this have not really taken exception to the thing itself, just to how much I am doing it. And they all had a point. But at the end of the day, like, I'm broken, man, and this is how I fix myself, right? Video games is how I fix myself, okay? And so, like, in that context, I think if you're actually just able to demonstrate that kind of moderation, they're probably going to be okay with it, right? If you're just sitting there 24/7 playing video games with your sister, that probably isn't a healthy thing. And you probably should pull back from that and do some other things and like whatever else. That's true, right? And I know that from experience as someone who sat there for 24/7 playing video games, right? But like what I'm saying is that moderation is really key. And I think if you can demonstrate that moderation and just be like, this is just a thing that I do amongst many other things. Yeah. Most of the time, that kind of like sort of short circuits the criticism and people are like, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. But because I honestly do agree with that, like in the sense that, video games in moderation is really important, and I didn't live that way. Would I have done it differently? I know everyone's circumstances are different, right? The reason I played so many video games is because we had like a single mum with 5 boys, okay? So like we were just like, and like we had no money, and it was like, that's what we did. We just played video games, right? Because that's what kept us busy and that's what we could do. Everyone's different, and if you've got the chance to like have more moderation in your life and your circumstances allow for it, then totally do that, and I think that your mother will probably be more chill about it if she sees that you've got it like kind of compartmentalized as just a part of your life rather than all parts of your life. Do you know what I mean?
Or even just show how it can impact your life in a positive way, like, oh, I played... Oh no, that's a bad example. I was going to say, I played BioShock and now I'm reading Ayn Rand.
Perfect example. That's right.
But also, there's a good, like, because that person had mentioned possibly introducing this person to video games as well, trying to show them. I feel like with that, you got to drill into like what they like.
Yeah.
Like, does your mom like watching movies about pirates or something? Then put her on a pirate ship in a video game.
Black Flag,
Do you
baby.
live in England? Drop her in Victorian England and let her walk around. Like, there's so many avenues of ways of kind of introducing someone to a game, even if it's just to dick around in. Does she love Spider-Man? Let her go for a swing. Like, there's so many different angles just to kind of give her a taste and maybe get her to open up to it.
Sure.
If you have a VR headset, I would say the most impactful way to really do it is put someone in VR for the first time who's never experienced it.
Throw up.
No, but like I remember an ex got in a VR headset and he showed his parents and they did like a bunch of the Oculus demos and they weren't even games. But it's like this technology is basically possible because of video games. So I don't know.
Yeah. Or run it back and just get a cheaper, affordable console, a used Nintendo Wii, and do Wii Sports, because we know Wii Sports is a guaranteed winner.
That exercise mat thing. Olivia Newton-John, rest in peace. She was a great spokesperson.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot they did that. Yeah.
My mum was a big dance mat fan. We had a dance mat for the PS2, the DDR.
Step aerobics, gotta love it.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Thank you for your thoughtful question.
Good question though.
Good question. All right, we should go into what we have been playing.
All right.
I want to hear about Samson.
Yeah, me too.
Samson. All right. Samson is a game that I am like genetically predetermined to like, right? Like, it's like you're a cool guy in a grimy city, single player action adventure game, punching dudes, driving cool cars. It unfortunately is undercooked and it's pretty middling. I think the project kind of had to have been scaled down. The studio has been pretty upfront about that. And I think ultimately it's cut too short. It's cut down too much. It feels not ready for prime time, and that's unfortunate. I think at the very least, like, it's not super long, and they priced it at $25. It's a very small experience. It has that going for it, but you know, it's just combat and driving, and unfortunately, both of them aren't rock solid. So
The studio had put out an open letter on Steam today to be like, we know, we're sorry, here's all the fixes that are coming on Friday.
That's the thing,
so...
like, because it's just one of those games where like it very quickly went viral with like people showing bugs and stuff like that, and like the bugs are like whatever, like they can be fixed, and I experienced some, but that didn't really impact my experience as much as the core loop, I think, just has issues. The mission design, the mission structure is incredibly repetitive, and the amount of combat and punching guys, the combat isn't satisfying enough, and it's not paced where it introduces more enemy types, and you know, it doesn't, you know, continuously get interesting over the course of the game. That stuff I don't think you can just like patch and update real quick. I think that's like fundamental stuff that the game lacks, and it's a shame because the structure is actually kind of interesting. It just, there's not enough content for it. So essentially you have a set number of action points, and you spend these action points on little Grand Theft Auto style missions around a map, right? Where it's like, do you want to do a car chase? Do you want to do a delivery? Do you want to do just go beat up guys, right? So you burn these action points on all those things because each job nets you money, and you need to kind of strategize using the right amount of action points to gain enough money, because every day you have a debt that comes due. So when you run out of points at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you have earned enough money in that day to pay your debts and not get beat up by the mob. But the problem is that those missions, because every day when you go to sleep and you wake back up, you have new missions populated on the map. The problem is that they're kind of like semi-randomized, very simple missions, and they're only pulling from a pool of so many different little types of missions you can do. And the open world itself isn't very big, and the enemy pool, the enemy type pool, is so small that it's just pulling from not a lot. So you very quickly, after, I'm talking like 5-6 hours, I started doing the same shit over and over again, and I was like, that's not good. It works in terms of if you just want like this endless car chase beat 'em up thing, but for me, I really needed more, because it's like the story isn't doing it, nothing else is doing it. There's a good skill tree at least, but progression other than that is really simple. The thing it has going for it is Jesper Kidd did the music.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which, holy shit.
That's
it's
cool.
very low key. It's very pared back, but it's still good. And the world is gorgeous. I fucking love this little city that they built. It's really only a slice of a city. Like, it's only like the south end of a city, but it's incredibly inspired by like a lot of East Coast cities. It's very Brooklyn, Queens, Philly, Boston, and then it's got like some Detroit, and a lot of it feels really well designed for car chases and stuff. But the detail, the griminess, the like 90s grime here is really good. But then the 90s grime goes too far, where every person in the game that you talk to, every story moment is just like, everything sucks. This sucks. I killed that guy yesterday. So you're paying off this debt for the mob, right? Because you're like a getaway driver where a job went south. You went into jail. You got bailed out of jail, but then you owe these guys money, and also they took your sister. So your sister is kind of like the only emotional character connection point to the story, but there is none, because there's not really a lot in terms of cutscene presentations. The voice acting is rough. The writing is so basically your sister will call you on the phone to check in. Like a lot of the times, like when you end the day, you use all your points, you end the day back at your apartment, you wake back up, your phone rings, your sister picks up, your sister calls you, you pick up, and she just talks about how everything is terrible. And even like the heart-to-heart moments, she's like, remember when we murdered that guy when we were kids? That was great. Yeah, we used to sell drugs. And it's just so overbearingly shitty. And the people are so crappy. And like, I get they're going for like a grimy noir thing, but it's like, you don't care about these people. Like nothing really connects. It's a shame because the driving has its moments. The city is cool. The combat, like in moments, it's good, but after a while, it just feels really, really spammy. There's a thing I've seen. I don't want to open up a can of worms here, but I've seen somebody posted, they said essentially the state of AAA gaming has gotten so bad that people will support a game that isn't technically good just out of spite and for the disdain of AAA. And I've been getting a lot of flack for saying that I find this game pretty middling, kind of mediocre. And people are like, I think it's great. I actually think it's fantastic. And I'm like, I think you should expect more. You should demand more. And again, I think it's good that it's at least $25.
Yeah, it's cheap. It is. I see
it's
that
pretty
now,
cut and dry. And I appreciate, as someone who just likes these types of games, like if I wasn't reviewing it, I would have bought it and checked it out just because I'm interested in this genre and
Sure.
But I don't know. I just think I just wanted more from this one, and especially because it is a new studio founded by one of the founders of Avalanche, behind Just Cause and the incredible Mad Max game. So it's got a little of that DNA here, like with the car and the feel of driving the car, but not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
It's not a disaster. People keep saying like it's like Mind's Eye. It's not that bad at all.
Are
you one of the paid saboteurs, Jake? Are you one of the paid saboteurs?
Oh, that's a whole crazy thing. That's a
insane.
wild thing.
Yeah.
That dude actually put
look
out a
into
statement
that.
just this week saying that now that the disturbances have been removed or something, the game is actually reviewing really well, and the game is selling really well as well. Like, I'm just like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, he's basically saying because there's no more saboteurs active, the game is now reviewing really well, and it's kind of like.
Is he talking about IO? Because they moved away from.
No. He's not. He's talking about the fact that they've identified these saboteurs who are stopping the game from being successful, and now it's actually.
Yeah, there was like some corporate sabotage, espionage type.
They're making a mission in the game that like provides evidence of the saboteurs. Like, it's just madness. Like, it's absolute insanity.
You shouldn't be making a mission in a game for something like that.
Yeah.
You should be making the game better. And they haven't really done that. They've done like a couple of little updates here and there. But again, that comes down to things with games. Like, I think No Man's Sky, a lot of people think like every game can just be magically fixed and go from content 0 to everything. And you can't like fix a game like Mind's Eye or something like that. You can't just like... Anyway, I could go on about that. But yeah, Samson... It's rough. I'd say if you're really, really curious about this little genre, I'd hate to say it, but like maybe even wait for even like a bigger sale, because it's rough.
Yeah. Well.
But
probably gonna skip
look,
that one.
Yeah, I didn't completely hate it, but it disappointed me. Okay. Does that make sense? Like,
you weren't mad. You were just.
But
I stuck with it. It didn't make me go crazy. Like, I didn't bail out like on Mind's Eye where it broke me. It could have been so much more than it is. Yeah. It's kind of just like a very flawed punch and driving simulator.
But it also feels like the developer didn't like kind of hype it up too much, right? Like, they just kind of were making a game, and I don't know. Like, did they really were they out there?
No, I think they were pretty forthcoming.
Like, yeah.
I think they were forthcoming. I've followed the formation of the studio, but then I followed the game, and there were a lot of people really hyping themselves up for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think like it makes a good first impression in a trailer. You're like, oh, that looks kind of cool. And I think a lot of people took that and ran with it. And I think the developer did a good job saying like, hey, it's not a GTA game. It's not a GTA-like game.
It's a driver-like game.
It's a driver-like game. Yeah. I think honestly, they might have started out years ago making something bigger.
Yeah.
Because people have like already broken the game and like gotten through to like they had modeled out way more of the city, and they've been pretty upfront about like I think it was like when COVID happened they had to like cut back their scope for the game.
That's a bummer.
And you can see like the kind of tight focused action point mission repeat thing. I think definitely is a reworking or a paring down, but I don't think it is to its it's not an improvement. It's not a
Well,
Bummer.
from one game with driving to
Nice, Liz.
another.
I knew that was coming. I was
God
like,
damn
I bet
it,
you
Ralph.
this is the segue Lucy's gonna do to Forza.
Well, imagine if I tried to move it to I Am Jesus Christ. I was trying to think about that, but I mean
I have to
Samson
talk
from the
about that?
Bible.
Oh, man.
Well, I played some of the demos, so we can talk about it if we want to. But I do want to hear
there's
about Forza.
No, I want to hear about
Yeah.
Tears. I'm sorry, but now that we've raised I Am Jesus Christ, we have to talk about I Am Jesus Christ. Okay, just so everyone knows, by the way, this is a real video game. It was released
Real
on
video
Steam
game.
during the Easter holiday because, of course, it was. It's
He
been
is
in development
risen.
for a number of years. It has
Yeah.
AI voice acting for Jesus.
So it does. I
And,
like the part where
tell us,
the
Liz.
AI. I like the part where the AI voice of God is clearly like an AI doing a Morgan Freeman impression.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
You know-
actually,
I'm
did you
I'm
finish
Jake.
this game?
Jake did.
I finished it.
How
I
long
finished it
is it?
completely. Like 6-7 hours.
Wow. Okay. All
I
right.
played through the whole thing,
Okay.
and it rushed the crucifixion.
That was my favorite
just a-
thing about this.
Just
about
another
this
video
whole
game bungling the ending. Like,
My favorite thing is that like Jake brought up the fact that he was playing it, and then a couple of hours later he was like, "Yeah, they really rushed through all the best stuff, all the best material." I was like, "What do you mean the crucifixion?"
Did they do a quick time event for the resurrection? I really like to imagine that.
No.
they
Pushing
should
the
have done
button.
that. It's like pushing the button. Like he needs to like you need to spam X to like wake Jesus up. He's like, and that's how he gets back up. And
you
then
do
have to
you
press-
do spam X when he's carrying the cross and he stumbles.
Stop
way.
it.
And
Oh my
I'm not
God.
mocking the religion at all.
No, I grew up Catholic.
the game.
I
Yeah,
grew up
it's the-
Catholic. So did all
We
of
can
us,
make
right?
fun
Yeah.
of a game without mocking Jesus. We
No,
can
that's
do,
the thing, it's
we
like,
can do that.
The AI voices are the easiest thing because it's like
Yeah.
you actually could have gotten like some interesting emotion and told some cool stories with the material. But when it's being read by Microsoft Sam, when like when Peter is just Microsoft Sam
so
and
good.
Mary is Microsoft Susan, it's
love it.
awful. The
I love it. That's
Paul.
amazing. So wait,
Yeah,
so
that's the
like,
thing.
what is an average like? Give me what's an average scenario in this game? Okay, how about the water to wine? Okay, give me an example.
Okay,
How does
all
that?
right.
How does
The
that work?
miracles are on a power wheel.
So the miracles.
Oh my
it's a
God.
weapon wheel. It's a weapon wheel.
That's incredible. So can I just walk up to any water I see and then turn it to wine with the power
No,
with
I
like,
wish.
the radial dial?
No, it's a very tightly constructed wedding sequence. Similar, it's a lot like the wedding in Kingdom Come Deliverance too.
I'm sure.
And by that, not at all. But as the story goes, the guests were out of wine, and blah blah blah, and so you change water into wine by clicking on the water.
Nice.
You just
Very
you just
deep.
click on
Well,
it,
in a way,
and then
it
you're
didn't-
good to go.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Jesus did. He was just like, see that water? It's wine now. And he's like, and they're like, holy shit, this is the guy we wanted to party right here, right now. Thank God we invited him. Did he get
the
invited
game
to
reminds
that wedding?
me-
Was he invited or did he just rock up? Because he was
I
like,
don't-
I feel like these people are running low on booze. I'm going to help them out. Do you reckon that's
They're
what
like,
happened?
come on in. The game, like, it could have been something as like an edutainment game.
Yes.
It feels like it has that flavor, and it seems like people actually like some people. I think it's like some people think it's blasphemous to make a game where how dare you try to play as Jesus, but on the other hand, I think some people were just happy to have something. One of the comments I saw that was really good. It was like, hey man. Some kids, maybe their parents are really religious and they won't let them play any video games,
True.
but they'll let them play this. And for that, I'm like, man, I wish they got it a little better because it's kind of rough. And Jesus kind of sprints everywhere. He just sprints all over this open world map. And you have infinite stats. Yeah, literally, you see his hands, like you see his sprint animation, and you basically,
you crouch at the same time and Jesus slides,
dude, I wish there was a slide. I was bunny hopping across the Sea of Galilee, just hoping, just for something, man.
Oh my God.
Guys,
Oh, that's so good.
they are adding improving the voiceover.
Where's
So
my
Good, because
they are
that's-
they're changing it. We're expanding storylines and events such as Mary Magdalene, the man with the withered hand, and other meaningful moments. So maybe the crucifixion. And they're
Yeah,
adding
Mary Magdalene was not in
achievements.
it at all, so
They're
that's
adding
that's
achievements.
crazy.
So that's the thing. It's like on Steam right now, it is very positive, 700
Yeah.
reviews.
Okay.
And that's the thing. It's like, as I grew up Catholic, and so part
We all
of me,
did.
and I am not a member of the church anymore, and so for me, part of it was like, I don't want to touch this because I don't want to be reminded of all this going to church and all that stuff. But it's like I do admire the fact that they have, made a game and
They
like
tried, right?
they tried and they tried to use the religion as a
Sure.
foundation, and it's another way for people to experience the stories of
It's
the
done
Bible.
in earnest.
It is
Yes, it is.
earnest.
I
Yeah.
can understand that.
No.
Also, it was
doesn't
kind of
mean I'm not
I kind of had fun like
Wait, Ralph, why do you already own it?
Oh, I got.
Yeah, I
it's-
noticed that.
Yeah, no, it's on my. I got sent it on my Steam curator thing.
Oh,
I get
okay,
sent
okay.
so many of those games
yep.
on Steam curator page, so I just have.
I was like, hold on.
it was fun to go through, and like so there's like mini games where you can so it's an open world map and you can
Bizarrely
Just-
large map.
Okay.
it's too large and you're just sprinting across the whole thing. There is fast travel too.
Is that a
wait.
miracle? Is that a
I was
miracle?
gonna
Is
say,
that
shit, I
just-
don't remember that miracle.
No, it's just he apparates, he appears wherever he needs to be.
Well, he did that after the resurrection, so
Yeah,
he
he
did
did.
appear. That's how it is.
So you can every town you can essentially clear out towns where every town has
do you
merchant
mean?
tables
What
to
do you
flip
mean?
over.
Camp?
Every town has merchant tables to flip over, or Pharisees to debate, or you can heal people, you can cure people. There are people you need to exorcise the demons from them. The debating the Pharisees is cool because it's kind of just like you roll up to them, and every character looks like an Oblivion NPC, by the way.
Yeah.
Like the worst Oblivion NPC you've ever seen. But these debates are like, oh yeah, well, riddle me this. Do you remember this from the Bible? And it's like a lot of stuff where I'm like, I do remember that.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I beat all the quizzes. And so that's kind of fun.
Nice.
It's a busted little,
Yeah.
kind of amateur game that I wish had real voices, right?
Yeah.
But,
Well, they
it's
would
done in
probably.
earnest, and it seems like it's making some people happy, so who am I to
Yeah.
poo-poo? I do think, though, with a religious game, an edutainment game, you couldn't have found volunteers
Yeah.
to do the
True.
voices, like some enthusiastic people of the faith.
Yeah.
I don't
Agreed.
know.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Let's get
it's
Mel
something.
Gibson would have lent his voice. I reckon.
Oh,
He would
Jesus.
have been-
I mean, Christ.
It would have been all up in that shit. It would have been a passion tie-in at that point. That's what it would have been. So.
But as a learning thing, kind of cool. I'd like to see it for other religions where it would work and it would be okay with people for those religions. But yeah, interesting. Anyway, Forza Horizon
Hard pivot.
6. Yeah.
yeah, Forza.
How much did you play?
So the preview was actually kind of frustrating because it was only like an hour's worth of content tops. It was like the prologue, and then it had like 3 races, and that was it, And then it was just
Okay.
like, but you did have the full map of Japan to explore. There was no restrictions on that. So I did the preview stuff, and then I played like another, 2 or 3 hours, just like driving around Japan, doing some of the drift challenges and speed traps, and like finding the boards that you need to drive into to get experience and all that sort of stuff, trying to see if I could find any hidden cars, because some of them are just parked on the road and you can buy them, whatever. So yeah, probably 3-ish hours or so in total, which honestly I think it's a general point of I think Microsoft are also kind of a bit guilty of this sometimes, in particular, preview slices that are this narrow. It's like, come on, guys, don't be so afraid to show us your game. This is clearly a good video game. You got nothing to hide. Why would you only give us an hour's worth of content? There's probably going to be a good 30 to 40 hours of this game to get through in terms of just its base offering. It's okay to give us more than just 1 hour for a preview, right? And so... because I think one of the big question marks they had is what's new in this, right? What's new in Forza 6 that wasn't there before? This preview does not allow you to experience anything that is new other than the garage decorating feature, where you can buy a house and every house has a garage in it that you can manually design the look of this garage. So it's I want to put a neon sign there, and I want to put a couch there, and it's just it's purely aesthetic. It does nothing. It doesn't. This feature does not appeal to me personally, but I'm sure some people will get off on it, whatever. But that was literally the only thing that's new that we were able to experience. Versus in the full game, there's going to be some new racing modes. There's going to be this estate thing where you can build this massive compound kind of thing. There's a new progression model.
I want to know about that.
There's
You
new
don't
stuff in
have
this
anything
game.
on that?
Yeah, there's new stuff in this game, but we just didn't get to experience any of it. So that's a disappointment. However, I just absolutely fucking loved it. I really just was so sad when I kind of decided to put it down and be like, okay, it's time to write now. I'm not going to do any more progress because I don't want to spoil myself for when I, play through the full thing. Map of Japan is truly incredible. Mexico was a good location. And it was very wide, expansive, beautiful, whatever. But this is a completely different design ethos with how they've gone about this one. It's so much more intricate. It's chalk and cheese. Like when I went back to play Mexico after playing Japan, I was like, this is just, it's hard. You basically can't go back because the map of Japan is just so much more interesting, so much more intricate, so much more diverse. It's just better to race around in, you know what I mean? And it does, and it looks substantially better as well. Like the graphical fidelity of like the cars is pretty similar, I think. But the graphical fidelity of the environments is just like, I'm not going to say it's a next gen leap because it's not. Like it's not that, but it is still impressive enough that you really remark the differences. And as you drive through the countryside of Mexico for 5 minutes and you drive through the countryside of Japan for 5 minutes, the amount of stuff that you will see over that 5 minutes, there's just like 5 to 10 times more of it on the Japan side because there's just so much more detail in the environments, you know? So had a really lovely time. There's only 4 cars that I found in the preview build, so can't really comment too much on like cars or whatever. The handling felt the same. People say the audio is different this time around. Fair enough. I didn't really pay too much attention to the audio, to be honest with you, but people say it's better. Fair enough. But yeah, handling to me feels identical, I would say. Just that kind of, it has a very accessible, arcadey, sort of slidey feel to a lot of the time. Yeah, I mean, the story stuff sucks still. And it's such a bummer because like the story stuff is like, it's offensively bad in Forza. It's like, I don't know if you guys... Is it still
the festival?
Yes, it's still the festival where everyone is the nicest person you've ever met. Everyone is super chipper and cheery. Like it really does. Cars. They just feel like AI chatbots talking to each other.
And everybody knows your name. Hey, Ralph.
Yeah.
Check out the new race we got for you.
It's like the Truman Show.
Except I always nickname myself Spanky. So they're like, hey, Spanky. We've got this race
Spanky,
coming up.
Wait. State of emergency Spanky.
All the Spankies in history. There's a lot of Spankies, so I just go with it.
There?
Yeah. There's a little rascal Spanky, and there's like all sorts of things. Yeah.
and just that's the only one.
No. I had some friends growing up called Spanky as well. Like this Spanky's a thing. Anyway,
what happened to nicknames
in Australia? What happens over there?
So yeah, the story stuff is disappointing because like you could do. Look, I'm not expecting Playground to like give me, you know, Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift kind of shit. Like I'm not expecting.
I am.
Okay, that's not their flavor. They're not going for that, right? And I respect it. But like at least something that might hold my attention when we do have
just a little more.
Scene. That would be nice. Versus this, I was like, oh, we're doing more of the chatbot chatter now. Okay, fair enough. I just listened to it. So I would have liked them to do a bit more on that front. But yeah, I look, as I said, it was a lovely couple of hours of the game. It looks stunning. Japan is definitely a big step up. Is there going to be a lot of new stuff in this game? It seems like no. It seems like even the features that I listed, like that's kind of the limit of them, as I understand it. Like it is going to be another Horizon game. And does that formula need to evolve? I don't know, to be honest with you. Maybe some people are really tired of it and they don't want to do it again. I can understand that. For me, I think the appeal of the location and just the overall Horizon experience, like if they were releasing these games annually, like a Call of Duty game, I'd be like, no, thank you. Or a sport like a FIFA game. But they don't. They release these games every, 4 or 5 years? And, you know, and it's been that long since I've played the last one. And so I'm very ready to play another one in a new location with all of the sort of polish that comes with a Forza game, you know? So
well paced.
I'm very keen for it. I think it's going to be great. It's out on like May 19th. Gonna play it on PC. Gonna jack the settings because I don't have to choose between either quality or performance stuff, man. On PC, you get both. Just a little hint.
You got a wheel?
And
you got a...
Oh yeah, do you have a wheel?
No, actually, Thrustmaster reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, do you want a wheel?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll check out a wheel." But the thing is, I actually read up on this, and apparently the wheel stuff in Forza games is not good. And it's nothing to do with the wheels, of course. It's to do with the way that like Playground uses wheels and like how they've translated their like game controls into wheels. And
yeah, I've struggled with it.
Yeah, a lot of people say that it's just not good to play Forza games with a wheel because it's just not. So I'm going to try it. I'll see how I go. Apparently, Playground have already put out a statement saying that they're really focused on improving the quality of wheel controls in this iteration. I think one of the previews did talk about what it was like to use with the wheel, and they said it was okay, but not great. And so clearly it seems like there's still some work to be done there. But I would love to check it out with a wheel, for sure. It'd be fun. I I can't remember the last. I think the last time I played a racing game with a wheel would have been like Gran Turismo 3 back in the day. I think I bought a wheel for it back then, but since then, I just haven't owned a wheel. So I'd love to check it out.
We used to have one in the old GameSpot UK office, but it's because we shared the office with X-Car, then known as Carfection. So we had
What
like
are they?
the whole.
What were they?
They're a car brand.
Oh.
And they had like a YouTube channel where they would just drive big fancy cars around.
Cool.
Alex and Drew and everyone. So that would be the only time I think I ever mess with a wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so cool. I still can't get over the Spanky thing. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about Spanky, if I'm honest.
Best not to dwell too much into it, I think.
Yeah.
Delve too much into it. It's out on May 19th. It's coming to Xbox and PC. It's going to be on Game Pass day one for the Ultimate tier, and it's also coming to PS5 later on. There's no confirmed release date for that yet. So I will be reviewing it. I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
It's me.
I've got a few small ones to do.
Go on.
So I didn't talk to you guys about Raccoin, did I?
No. I want to hear about it.
Raccoin. Oh boy, a problem of a game.
Okay.
A problem. So it's the new one published by Playstack, who, on top of doing Golden Idol, two of my favorite games of all time, also published Balatro. And if Balatro is the compulsive, like just one more run of poker, Raccoin is the just one more run of like the coin pushing games.
Right.
So it's a roguelike coin pusher. And when you play a coin pusher in real life, you are there with your real hard-earned cash getting nished in response. Whereas Raccoin has a really just, again, it is a very compulsive, like they have the dopamine release perfect.
Yeah.
Like just with the amount that the coins fall in. And then there are special coins that do things like you get a bunch of points and tickets based on if you use these coins. There's different strategies, there's different builds you can work on obtaining because there's a store in between each round. Really fun game. My one complaint with it is that if I'm playing it on my ROG Ally, it's done the thing where it uses pixely text, just like Balatro. It's that same kind of thing, and it's kind of difficult to see on a smaller screen, but it is kind of perfect as well for handheld. We were playing it in the office, or I was playing it in the office, and Max Scoville from IGN came over because we were going to a concert, a bunch of us. And I was like, we're not meeting for another hour. Do you just play this, blah, blah, blah. And I had to basically tear him away from this game is a problem. So it's great.
It looks insane.
It had 100K concurrence or something crazy. It was wild. And so...
Oh, wait, really? Interesting.
I think so. I definitely saw that it had a lot of...
I thought it had 100K sales.
Oh, maybe that was it. 100K something.
Yeah,
but I mean, either way,
sales. The concurrent peak
had
was 11K, but yes, they did announce 100K sales in the first 24 hours.
What I'm thinking.
So yeah,
wow,
good.
So they've done.
So
well
played that. Played a game called Fishbowl, which is published by Wholesome.
Okay.
Fishbowl is a game about grief, and it's a game about a girl who is on the cusp of, again, that very key time of your life when you leave home and you get your first big girl job in the city. Unfortunately for her, this is happening just after she has lost her grandmother, who she's very close to. Her mother's tea shop is suffering, and it just happens to be March 2020.
Okay.
And so
that's interesting.
It's a really interesting backdrop because the world is shutting down just as you are separated from the people you love in your life the most. And so a lot of it is having video calls with friends and colleagues. And also her job is she's a video editor. There's a video editing mini game, and I was like, that's
pretty cool.
that's too close to home. And so there are things where it's like her energy, her mood is kind of this bar that you are always kind of keeping an eye on. And so by doing everyday things, and there are mini games attached to all of these, but having a shower or making food for yourself, keeps her energy up. And that impacts dialogue choices that you have when you talk to people. If you're in a really terrible mood, you will be more negative. But if you have done enough to kind of keep yourself going throughout the day and, made those little steps, you have a more positive outlook when you talk to people. And then
it's realistic.
And then her mother sends her grandmother's items, and as you go through it, you find this fishbowl, and so there is a talking fish in the fishbowl, and you revisit experiences and memories with your grandmother through it. I think it's a really interesting, fun game. I will say, very good to play handheld. Kind of doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it's a really beautiful examination of grief, and it's nice to see I said this before, but it's like nice to see a story about like women in a family where they're not pitting or pitted against each other. I feel like that's a trope that's will kind of fall into, is that like mothers and daughters. Yeah.
Okay,
mothers and daughters don't get on. And it's really nice to just see that like really strong maternal family thing. So with that, played Fix Force. I forgot to talk about this one. I played it a while ago. It's the Surgent Studios one.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Which is a really fun time. So Surgent, who did Tales of Kenzera, they did Dead Take. We did like a little play session with them a few weeks ago. And I keep forgetting to talk about it, but it was a fun time where you play as like little robots and you're trying to fix stuff. And the thing is that ultimately, like, I don't play a lot of, and we tried to figure out a new name for Friend Slop.
Doesn't need to be
like
fixed, man.
like a friend 'em up or whatever, you know.
No.
Friend 'em up. That's actually really we didn't come up with that one last time.
No, that's right.
Good.
This is like when we spent like weeks trying to come up with a name for the podcast. Like, had a full fucking list and everything. Went through this whole process, and then at the very end of it, Lucy's just like, "What about Friends Per Second?" We're like, "Where the fuck was that this entire time, huh? Where was that?"
It's in here.
Yeah.
So I don't really play that as many kinds of games anymore. Like, I think I am in a place in my life where I just don't. It's so hard to get people together to have that regular crew. But when we did play it, I was playing with Kurt, Jordan, and Tam at work, and with Abu and someone else from the Surgeon team, and it was a really fun time because it's that chaos that you want. Especially because if you die or something, like someone can take your head. And there's a lot of avenues for trolling your friends gently. I had a good time. Basically, you just have to like gather things from the environment.
What can you do with their head once you've taken it?
You can throw it into the sea or like whatever the gap is. Whatever.
Okay.
No, it was a really fun time. We played it.
It kind of looks like is it kind of like a Portal mixed with like a bridge constructor? Because you're essentially engineering your way across the map with your friends, right?
Yeah, and then you can, you have to all escape together or like leave the job together. And so again, that's where you either choose to be very nice to your friends or you can choose to go for a little chaos, which we did a lot. And I did do a lot of big laughs while I was playing it. And so I hope it finds an audience.
Yeah.
I think, Surgent is a very fun studio and like an exciting one because they take big swings, like they try different things. Like none of their projects have been really.
Each one was different.
Yeah, totally.
So good luck to him. And then the final game I played, which I can talk about, is because this was in the Triple I Initiative showcase, which has not happened as of this recording, but I know a bunch of things that are in it. And one of which was Neverway, which has already been announced. It has like a lot of wish lists, and I think as part of the showcase there is a demo. Okay. So this is one of the people who worked on some of the people who worked on Celeste. So this is I think the art director of Celeste. This is their new game. Okay. Cold Blood is the studio.
Cool.
And it is a farming simulator / psychological horror game.
Oh my god!
Yeah, this looks kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
it's a little spooky.
Yeah, it's genetically engineered to be a game that appeals to me. It is a game where at the beginning you play as a woman named Fiona, and she's very depressed. She is in a dead-end job. She's going through a breakup, and then discovers that
indie games and depression, man, they are more iconic duo.
Yeah.
And then there is sees a poster. And it's, why not live a better life on this island, live off the land, have fun. And so she decides to go do that. But there's already weirdness from the get-go. As soon as you look on your PC, for example, you read your emails, it's work telling you, you can't keep working from home. You have to come into the office. And then there will be these emails about, did you ever see that Mitchell and Webb skit where they're talking about, do not talk about the event?
No.
There are these things where it's like, do not try and engage with, do not look at this thing.
Okay.
I think it's called, I forget what the name of the weirdness is. And then when she goes to collect her stuff from work, there's like a weird, on the train or whatever, like this kind of realm shifting thing infecting it's hard to describe, but it is it's very much playing with disassociation and how she's interpreting maybe the world around her. And then the demo moves you forward a bit and you move to the island. And so there's typical farming simulator stuff that wasn't really too much in the demo. The demo is called the prologue. And so you can, live off the land, you can go fishing, you can chop down trees and craft things. But for some reason then I was in some kind of simulation and it was more combat focused. And so if you were expecting the typical, Stardew, here's my sword and I can do that. Yep, that's kind of what the combat is, but you also get a hook shot. So you can go and fling yourself onto little islands that are maybe a bit too far to get away from. And then your combat abilities are tied directly to relationship building. So a little bit Persona in that regard, where abilities are tied behind your progression of a relationship. So I'm very excited to see how this all comes together. I think the prologue starts out really strong. One thing I will say again, I didn't check the accessibility options, but man, I hate the pixel font.
Sure.
It's become a real bugbear of mine.
Yeah, it's tough.
So I need to check it to see if you can change it in Neverway. I hope you can. But no, it's cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the character art, the color palette,
stunning.
the music apparently is
By Disasterpiece, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, who did the soundtrack for Fez and It Follows, that movie. So I've been playing. And yeah, we've all been playing something embargoed that we can talk about.
Yes, we'll talk about that in the next episode. Actually, one thing I will talk about is I have also been playing this. This is the Lenovo Legion Go S. They sent this to me, but it's not sponsored or anything. I don't have a sponsored deal with them or some shit. It's very good. I think I spent a lot of time. I've been playing with it now for 2 weeks. I think I have basically. I spent a lot of time playing with the ROG Xbox Ally X.
Yeah.
And I really came to the conclusion that I don't like that device at all. And I've not used it since I have reviewed it. For me, the screen was a deal breaker because it's just so small that I was just like, this sucks. I just don't like using it. And it's very heavy and like the ergonomics are good, but it's the weight plus the small screen size. But really, the small screen size was the deal breaker. And also just the Windows experience, the Xbox app stuff is awful. Even though they're trying to make headway into that, it's still a long way to go. So this is the Windows version of this device. But I actually didn't even let Windows initiate on this thing. Even before Windows got a chance to fully install itself, I flashed it and I put Steam OS on it straight away.
Hell yeah.
Because there's another version you can buy of this that actually just comes pre-installed with Steam. But they didn't have that one to send me. So I'm just like, yeah, this is fine. I'll just do that. And so I did that. Super easy process, by the way. And this is also the Z1 Extreme chip, because there's two variants of this. There's like a weaker one and a better one. This is the better one, which in terms of performance doesn't really result in when you're just playing normally. Performance is actually quite comparable to a Steam Deck. The biggest difference is that when you plug it in, it does have like a performance mode where it does allow you to achieve some better frame rate results. And not like massively different, but like different enough that you can definitely feel it. It's running more demanding games better for sure. And I think as someone who plays plugged in a lot, that is actually quite useful to me when I do choose to play those sorts of games. But honestly though, I've just been using it for like general Steam Deck usage, which is where I focus on playing indie games, smaller titles, whatever else. I am doing another Silksong playthrough on this. And I really, really, really love this device actually, to the point where like, I think I'm probably just using this going forward as instead of my Steam Deck. The trade-off is that it's not OLED. And that is a big trade-off, right? Because the OLED screen is really lovely. I really love it.
That's tough to lose.
It is. I really love that. But like the LCD panel they have is really excellent. It's very nice. But the size of it is the big thing. Because like, I don't know, man. I have, big hands and I don't know. I really hate staring at small screens. It's one of the reasons I love the Switch 2 so much. It's got a really nice big screen. This is an 8-inch screen and you just feels fantastic to watch it and like to be on it, and you don't really even think about the size of the screen. All I could really think about when using the ROG Ally was like, this screen is too small. Whereas I never find myself thinking about the screen size of this because it's just so big and clear and beautiful. And the ergonomics of this device are also excellent, really comfortable to pick up.
Yeah.
It's heavy for sure, but not, well, actually, that's a lie. It's not super heavy. I don't pick it up and think, oh man, come on now. But I do notice the weight versus the Steam Deck. The case, by
How
the
about
way-
compared to the Ally?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
lighter than the Ally for sure. The Ally is
Oh,
like
wow,
shorter.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
interesting.
I have
or
to play the
the-
Ally with like a little pillow on my lap.
Oh, do you? Right, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's to bring it up enough to see it.
This is a D brand skin on it, by the way. It's like the kill switch case that I always have on all the devices. So it's really hard to take this off. So I won't show it to you without it. But yeah, this is whatever. But the other issue is the fan, because it does make noise when it's playing like in performance mode and it's playing like a AAA game, whatever. It is properly loud, properly loud. And this is again the Steam Deck. It's because it's capped at 15 watts. And the cooling is so good. The thermals are so excellent. The fan noise is so quiet. Like that device is like whisper quiet all the time, basically. This one though, because it has the ability to go above 15 watts, and its thermals are not as intelligently designed, it does make noise. And so if you are playing those sort of AAA-ish games, you'd need to be in an environment where that doesn't disturb other people. If you're just wearing headphones, you don't hear it, right? But if you just don't have headphones on and you're listening to it speakers, you will absolutely hear that fan sound, and it could bother you as well. So that is a massive trade-off with this for sure. But having said that, in my personal use case, I've absolutely loved using it for the last 2 weeks, and I have not felt the need to reach for my Steam Deck. Having SteamOS installed on this thing, having this big, beautiful screen, having the lovely ergonomics, having a bit more power to draw from, as in like performance that I can draw on when I want to by plugging it in, all of it has just been like a fantastic experience. So like this is a really good option. It is more expensive than a Steam Deck, but not by
I was gonna say,
much.
what's the price?
I can't remember because there's so many different SKUs and there's different like whatever else. It's more expensive than a Steam Deck for sure.
But cheaper than a ROG.
But cheaper than a ROG, yes. Yeah.
This is the Go S.
This is the Go S with the more powerful chipset in it. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a good one to consider. I wouldn't necessarily say, oh, you should buy this over a Steam Deck, because I think the Steam Deck is still the best bang for buck PC handheld you can get, and that's just like an easy, grab that one, fantastic. But I do think it's one that's like worth considering if you want a larger screen and if you want a bit more power to draw from when you want to. For me, those things matter, and I don't worry, and I'm not bothered by the noise trade-off, and I'm not too bothered by the OLED thing. The OLED thing, I would like it. I'm essentially trading like the quality of the screen versus the size of the screen, and I personally tend towards size in this instance because it just feels nice. So yeah, that's it. Been very happy.
It was
with
not on my radar, but now it is.
Yeah, look.
Thank you.
But I would say this: you already have a Steam Deck. I don't think anyone who has a Steam Deck should upgrade to this. It's too incremental to upgrade to it. But if you don't have a Steam Deck and you're thinking about it, I think it's worth looking into this. Check out some reviews. Think about it. I've been extremely happy with it, and as I said, I will make this my like main driver going forward. I think, and as I said, having played a bunch, I also played like the other Lenovo. What do they have? What is the other Lenovo one they make? The one with the detachable. Is that just called the Legion? No, it's called something.
Yeah.
The Claw? Is it the
There's the-
Claw?
The claw, the MSI claw.
Oh, that's the MSI Claw. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's another Lenovo one that has like detachable controllers, and it's like even a bigger screen, and it's so ridiculously expensive. I looked at that device and I was like, no, that's not for me. That's not it at all. This, I think, though, is a very different story. It's much smarter in the compromises that it makes, and as a result, I've been super happy with it. So yeah, that's my little like mini review of the Legion Go S. I do recommend it as something to consider. It's not a slam dunk purchase like a Steam Deck is, but it's a good alternative. I put it that way. So yeah,
Nice.
that's that. Anyway, anything else we've been playing?
No. Not until some embargoes lift.
Yeah, cool.
So should we just go into show and tell?
Let's do it.
I think so.
Okay.
I just spoke, so you guys go first.
I saw Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, and
Okay.
Bone Temple, as I mentioned earlier. Nirvana the band, the show, the movie. I don't want to talk about it too much, other than how the hell did they film that?
You have to
Oh,
give us.
I know.
You have to give us some framework. Like what is
Okay,
that? You gotta give
so-
us something.
CN Tower stuff, like around
Yes.
Toronto.
So
proper.
the two guys are in a band, Nirvana, the band. They want to play a venue called the Rivoli,
Okay.
and they have all these plans. Like one of them is parachuting off the CN Tower, and then another one is that they go back in time to 2008. And so that's all I want to say about that movie. They just have a bunch of plans. They want to play the Rivoli. There is some stuff in this movie that I genuinely do not know how they filmed it.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it is swinging with the budget of a movie that it does not have.
Okay. Right.
It is also one particular movie that they riff off so much that I believe there is a video online where they do a guide to copyright infringement, because they're like, they riff off this movie so much. I'm amazed they didn't get sued. I'm amazed this movie was able to be in theaters. I'm amazed this movie is able to be bought and rented at home.
Okay.
There is also one joke when Matt is sitting in the movie theater. You will know the joke if you have seen the movie, that I
Yeah.
think is one of the best jokes I have ever seen in a movie. We had to genuinely pause it because we were laughing so hard. It is such a wonderfully well played out, understated joke that I think is so funny. Incredible movie. I really enjoy their humor. I think it's full of heart, full of love and references to the things that they like and to each other. One of my absolute highlights of movies that I've seen in a very long time.
I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes. It's 98% from critics, 95% from audiences.
Yeah.
Is there
Loved
any
it.
is there like a cinematic universe I need to have taken in before I
No.
watch this, or can I just go in stone cold, never
can
seen
go in, you
anything
can go
other
in.
than that thing we watched last
Update
time?
day. We showed you
I
update
went in
day.
just knowing that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's all I knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So you
loved
saw it
it.
as well, Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, you loved it as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's
Yeah.
cool. So then,
Just simple, like just good
is
simple.
it like
funny.
is it sort of like
It's just a
is it
good
like-
time.
Is it Wayne's World esque of just like two dudes getting, or like Bill and Ted esque, just two dudes on some zany adventure kind of thing with some gags? Is that
A little bit.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but it also is
But 2000s energy humor and like type
Yeah.
of guy, like internet type of guy.
like
It is
Kevin Smith shit. Are we
structured-
talking like Jay and Silent Bob? Is that what this is?
don't do that. It is structured and thought out in a way that it blew my mind when I was
Okay.
thinking about the practicalities of how it was
Yeah.
made.
All right. Okay,
It's
so
great.
it's in theaters. I wonder if it's in any theaters.
No.
Oh.
It's now available to rent. We paid $20 to rent it because
Oh.
it was in theaters very, very briefly. Like a couple months ago, I think.
Okay, actually, it's in Dendy Cinemas Newtown, which like
Hey.
for us is like Dendy is like the art house cinema, and Newtown is like the
Yeah.
art house suburb. So it's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, cool.
Makes sense. Great
All
time.
I will check this out. I had no. You can actually buy it on Prime Video and Apple TV, according to Rotten Tomatoes. So I will check it out. That sounds actually fantastic. I would love to do that. That sounds great.
Jake, what have you been up to?
I only have a YouTube video I watched. Friend of the show, Susie,
Yeah.
Sphere Hunter, did a Resident Evil spoiler video. I think she's like one of the best in the game for that type of thing. Like people talk about like Elden Ring lore people
Vati.
and
Yeah.
like
Vati.
I think Lucy is that for Resident Evil.
Me?
Because sorry, not Lucy, Susie, excuse me. I think Susie really nailed it. I like how she broke down the story also because it gave me new perspective on the story, and that's what I like. There was some things with the story that I was like, that's a little messy, that's a little weird, and she got like annoying hyper fixated Resident Evil lore nerd about it, but in a way that like I was like, oh, very cool, I appreciate that perspective.
Nice.
So very valuable video. Actually, like it made me want to go back and like change my video. Just really good takes on like, you know, some of the story stuff in that game. So I highly recommend that.
Nice.
That was a good YouTube video. It's also really long. So if you
It's
want
like
to
an hour. It's like 2
sit
hours
down-
long or some shit.
yeah, it's like, you know, it's like I sit down and eat dinner and
Yeah, sure.
kick back.
Yeah, nice.
That's
Awesome.
a movie.
It's a movie.
Speaking of Ralph,
Yeah, I watched Project Hail Mary.
how was that?
Oh, okay.
You haven't seen it, Jake?
No.
I'd have thought you'd be all over it. I don't know. He just has like Jake.
Yeah, I've
energy.
just been so busy.
Yeah, right,
I usually go to the movies like a decent amount, but I've been so busy. But
and Lucy read the book and hated it to the point where she refuses to see the movie because she
No,
hates it so badly.
I do want to see the film. I've just been very busy. Went to see Health and Carpenter Brute. Forgot about that. It was a great show.
oh, there you go.
No, I've just been very busy, and then like I said, I'm off on my holidays, weekend.
Look, I follow a lot of like film guys online, and they're like, I've seen it 6 times and it changed my life. Is it that good?
No, absolutely not. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thing to say. Like, who are these people? Like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Like this is a good. It's like a nice little film. It's sort of like Interstellar, but like without any ambition, or like, just, you know what I mean? It's just a nice little movie. But like and like, again, it's not a spoiler because they give it away in the trailer, and the whole thing is like, is a guy who needs to go to space to do a thing, and he meets an alien in space. Okay, and they need to work together to do this thing. But the thing about it,
should I see it in a theater?
Oh, absolutely! It's see it in IMAX. It's a really beautiful film, like, because it actually has some spectacular shots of space.
A lot of it's practical, right?
Well,
in terms of like the actual sets and stuff.
Correct. A lot of it's practical, but then the spectacle of like why you might see it in IMAX is because they do lots of stuff with like space, and they're in these incredible places and whatever. It's all just nonsense sci-fi stuff, but it's cool. But the funny thing is, like, the alien, the way he's done in this movie, he's essentially a dog. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, he's very dog-coded. He's sort of like he speaks, but he speaks in a certain way, and he kind of looks a certain way, he moves a certain way. So it's kind of like, what if you and your dog were trapped in space and had to save the world together? That's the movie, okay? And it's lovable from that perspective, because it's like, it's nice, the idea that, you know, like, 2 companions and they have to work together and they're just really good buddies and they'll do anything for each other. And it's just like, they come from different places, but they're still, you know, they still love each other in their own bro kind of way. Like, it's that, you know what I mean? And so I really enjoyed it. It was just nice and well made. And Ryan Gosling actually turns in a good performance because he acts as opposed to just being Ryan Gosling. Like, he actually has some scenes where he's like...
What movies does he not act well in?
I mean, I feel like most movies is just Ryan Gosling
but...
being cool. Like, what's the one with the Steve Carell thing?
Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy Stupid Love is one, and then you know, like, I don't know, The Notebook. He's just like just a guy. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying he's not. I like watching him. I like him in movies, but what I'm saying is, it's not like he's doing much.
He's not as egregious to me. He's not as egregious to me as Ryan Reynolds. Who literally just plays Ryan Reynolds in every movie.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess. Yeah, my point is that, like, there are some scenes here where, you know, like, Ryan Gosling puts in some work, and like, I think he does a really good job of it. And there's some other actors in this film that I think do some really great work as well. So I liked it. Again, I think I've seen some people really turn up their nose at it and be like, oh, this is pathetic, you know, like generic sci-fi garbage for low IQ brainlets or some shit. It's like, man, come on now. Like, it's just a nice movie. Just chill, you know? And I recommend it.
Basketball fans said the same thing about Air Bud, but Air Bud we still talk about today.
Where are they now? That's right, exactly. You know? So I do recommend it, and I definitely do recommend seeing it at IMAX because, as I said, there's some really spectacular scenes that are worth taking in on that basis. But yeah, the idea that people say they've seen it 6 times and they've changed their life and they're cinema people, I'm just like, I don't know, man. That seems fucking insane to me. That's like... It's like the equivalent of saying, I don't know, I've played through Assassin's Creed Shadows 6 times and it's changed my life. It's like a good game, but like, come on now. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you need to do that? I don't think so.
Yeah. Legitimate question. Why do film people write all of the titles in capital letters?
What do you mean?
Like film bros on Twitter, it wouldn't just be like Project Hail Mary. It's like
it's all caps.
All caps, Project Hail Mary. Why do they
That's
do
usually
that?
like the access journalists, like the ones that are always at that first screening, and they're like, "Into the Spider-Verse," all caps, colon. One of the best things I've ever seen. Yeah, like, I know.
No, they do, but they do it like.
Do I do that when I talk about games?
No, I do not do that when I talk about games.
Like, I didn't do like Resident Evil Requiem in all caps, and then what I thought about it.
Mm-hmm. No,
I gotta make sure I didn't do that.
You didn't do that.
No, okay. No, I just retweet Happy Easter Xbox and then log off.
Isn't like
Happy
John
Easter,
Drake
Xbox.
John Drake posted, he's a exec at Disney now. He posted that he directed that shoot, and he was like, that's my thing that I left.
That blew my mind. His lore continues to
Dude, John Drake has
be
such
even
lore.
more in depth. I know, God.
But yeah, the Happy Easter Xbox is good. I mean, my favorite is Happy Valentine's Day. Get with your partner on the dance floor, but hey, keep it clean, or whatever it is he says.
Was that also from Usher?
Oh yeah, he did a bunch of different holidays.
Right, okay.
Did you see the one that somebody, it's just edited and he just goes, Happy Box. It's the funniest thing. It's so stupid. You have to be so brain rotted. But
We need to find that.
Yeah.
All right, that about does it for another episode of the Friends Per Second podcast. Thank you so much for watching, listening, writing in, reviewing us. You can do that on your podcast platform of choice. We really appreciate it.
yeah, thank you.
And yes, we get a lot of emails, so if we don't manage to get to yours, we're very sorry, but we do read them all.
Do.
So thank you. I'm around Lucy James Games. You can find me at Gamespot, here, wherever, online. Ralph?
I'm around. Gonna be talking about some fun games next episode. We've got some embargoes popping, so it'll be a fun time. Lots to cover.
Yeah.
And Jake?
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Oh, shit. That's the one I'm not going to be on.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna be on,
remember?
are you?
Yeah, crap.
That's okay.
Shit.
Well, I'll talk about them somewhere else.
Later on, we'll have to
Maybe
get
on
a
Game
replacement
Ranks or
for you.
your own channel.
Game
That's
Ranks.
Maybe.
That's a good reminder because we forgot to do that. So,
Do
Ralph,
what?
you and I will figure that out.
Do what? Oh, that's right. We'll find a replacement
Get a
for Jake.
replacement
That's
for Jake
right.
while he's
That's
off.
right.
It's so hard to replace me, I know.
Very
So.
difficult. We need a New York guy.
Okay, I'll have a think.
Yep.
All right. Thanks. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Jake.
Tie your shoes and go to bed.